all the time. I don't know what I'd do. If I had to talk to normies all day about how fucked things are and not laugh and not have fun, I'd be depressed. Like, we're always laughing and talking shit and having fun, even though things are crazy. Like, we are, 4 years away from artificial people telling us what to do, and everybody's like ushering it in our own demise, buying things constantly. We're going to have artificial life forms that are far superior to humans in like 4 years. And everybody's like, whatever. What do you think about Drake and Kendrick? I'm on Team Kendrick.
Of course, everyone is.
Everyone seems to be on Team Kendrick.
Yeah.
Drake slings too much dick. People are a little upset about him. He's a little too handsome.
Yeah, but all the podcasts that every single comedian's ever done is going to be fed into AI, and they're going to be the shit talkers. You know?
I honestly don't know anything about the Drake and Kendrick beef. Every time people talk to me about it, my eyes glaze over. I just can't pay attention. I can't pay attention to grown men beefing with each other publicly.
It's just sexual tension between those two. That's all it is.
My feeling is always like, damn, you guys busted out 8 songs that are bangers, shitting on each other. You could have been just writing amazing rap songs, like elevating human beings, elevating life, you know. And once you write one diss song about somebody, you know, you have to go back and forth and back and forth. Like, come on. I don't even like listen to old school ones. You know, that's why I fucked your bitch. Like, you go back and listen to Tupac and Biggie. Like, I love Tupac and I love Biggie. Like, how come I have to choose? How come? How come there's a fight? What's going on?
Those songs become so popular.
Yeah, not as much as California Love. There's songs that you hear and they make you excited. You know, like there's like California Love. Like, I remember when Uriah Faber was fighting in the UFC. California Kid, he would always come out to California Love. And the moment you hear it, you're like, woo! That's one of those songs, man. You don't get that diss track.
Yeah, you do. That came because of the East Coast, West Coast beef.
This guy.
That's how it came.
That's where California Love came?
They probably would never even take the time to write it if they weren't talking shit back then. They may have.
Maybe. But Tupac wrote a lot. Tupac wrote so much that they were releasing albums long after he was dead. Remember? He did. So he was just a machine. Like, that dude was just a creative machine. He would just lock himself in the studio and just make songs.
Remember the Eazy-E and Ice Cube beef? That was my favorite. Where like talking about fucking in the ass with no Vaseline and shit like that. They had whole albums back at this.
You don't want to get into this one with Ice Cube. He's too clever.
He's awesome.
He's too clever. He's too clever with his writing. You know, Ice Cube wrote most of the songs for NWA. Ice Cube's a very good writer. You know, like there's like a lot of times in rap bands, there's like the one dude who writes everything. You know, like in Ghetto Boys, it was Willie D. Like, we played Fuck a War, which is like one of my all-time favorite rap songs, Bushwick Bill. And Willie D texted me and goes, I wrote that in 45 minutes. You know, there's some dudes that are just really good at writing. You know, they're just really good at writing bangers, you know. And that's with comedy, too. Like, Tony's that guy. Like, Tony is really good at writing jokes. Like, his ability to, like, especially joke shitting on people.
Yeah, his brain's constantly working. When you talk to him, he's looking past you thinking what joke he's going to say after.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a machine. That's why your show, first of all, congratulations. I mean, you guys are fucking killing it.
It's insane, dude.
You guys are killing it. You guys sold out Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row. You guys sold out a giant ass theater in LA, and you want to do another show. So let's do the Staples Center. Like, what? You sell that out like that. It's bananas. You guys are printing money.
It's ridiculous.
And it's the best fucking comedy show in the world. It's the best show. Because, like, you guys, first of all, you guys have been doing it now for 11 years almost, right? When did it be 11? December?
June, I think.
June?
Yeah.
So it's almost 11 years. So you've been doing it all these times. It's polished. You guys are synced up. Everybody knows their position. The band is great. The audience is super aware of how the show works. They're not confused, like, what's going on? How come he is a minute? And what's that? Everybody knows how it works. and it's just polished. And then you got Tony, who's just locked in. The fucking lines he has, so many people do not believe that he comes up with those on the spot. They're like, oh, that's all planned out. Like, no, none of it's planned out. That's the magic of it. Like, especially when him and David go at it. When David Lucas and Tony Hinchcliffe shit on each other, it's as hard as I ever laugh. There's like compilations of them shitting on each other on YouTube, and in a bunch of them, it's me, like, red-faced, can't breathe, holding my sides, just like, Jesus Christ. It's so funny. It's so good. And
David gets to just call him gay for like 15 minutes straight. It's so funny.
The show went against every single direction that the industry was trying to tell us the audience was going. Your show went against all of the woke shit, against all of the don't say this and don't say that, and this is a forbidden word now. All of it's out the window, and it's the best show. And then the audience is obviously responding. There's not a fucking podcast on earth that can sell out arenas like you guys are doing. Not one. You guys are selling out Madison Square Garden in an hour. It's nuts. I mean, that's like a cultural phenomena. That's a real audience. Like, finally, the audience reacts to, like, this is what we want. This is what we've always wanted. We don't think comedy is real life. We're not fucking stupid. Go crazy. Go crazy, say wild shit, and it's the best for comedy, man.
It's the Johnny Carson for comics, and you don't like it's also random. And you could be doing comedy 10 years, or you can be doing comedy your first time and somehow get on Johnny Carson.
You can be doing comedy your first time and get on Johnny Carson at the Staples Center.
Yeah. Which is one of the worst things ever when that happens, by the way.
Well, if you can get through that, though, I mean, good Lord, if you can get through that, what a career you'll have. You'll be able to tell people the first time he was ever on stage was in front of 20,000 people. And now here he is headlining the Comedy Works in Denver. I mean, that's an amazing thing.
That's what Janice did her third time on stage in front at the arena here on New Year's Eve.
That is so nuts. Third time on stage. That is bananas. That kind of pressure, bananas.
And then after that, I asked her to marry me. Like, she's already like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, that's cute. That's adorable. That's adorable. Yeah, you guys are killing it, man. It's awesome to see.
Somebody sent me a clip of an old JRE. It was like the week we started that Kill Tony. And you're like, what's this new show you're doing or something like that? And I go, oh, it's me and this guy named Tony Hinchcliffe. You know Tony, right? I think so. I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we've been working so hard at it. You know, we always thought, it's going to become big, but not this big. Not having like Post Malone and RFK on the same show. Like, what the hell is going on?
You remember the time I tricked Post Malone? He had no idea he was going on stage.
Oh, yeah, you've done that a few times. You did it with
Tucker Carlson. Yeah. It's just be known. If you're a famous person and we're hanging out, and it's Monday.
Oh, let's go through this curtain real quick. What the hell?
I dragged you out onto the internet. But listen, Tucker Carlson handled it like a champ. He was great.
Tucker's hilarious, man.
He was so smooth and so relaxed and so genuinely happy and fun. People don't understand him, or they don't know who he is, or they just want to demonize him as this evil right-wing person. He's a sweetheart of a guy. And I'm saying that as someone who spent hours with him. He's a very nice guy. He's nice to everybody. He's nice. He's odd. He's odd. He's an odd guy. And he was also working in the belly of the beast for like how many years? He was on CNN, and then he goes from CNN to Fox, and now he's a wild boy. Like, now he's online. He's wild. Having interviewing that guy who says he sucked Obama's dick like that. What are you doing? I forgot to ask him about that.
Remember when William was it William or Cam just brought that up?
Yeah, William brought up that guy really sucked Obama's dick. What a nightmare! What a nightmare! Tucker!
William's so fucking funny, and his brother now works at the mothership, and it's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's amazing. William is so funny, and he's so confident now. And look, when we first met that guy, he was awkward but kind of funny, but he had to have those goddamn notes. And how many times did we have conversations with him in the green room?
Like millions.
Millions. Like, dude, you got to dish those notes. Because when he would do Kill Tony, when he would engage with the audience, I go, when you stare at the audience and start talking to them, I go, it makes me nervous. Like, as a friend of yours, you're so wild, but like, I'm in the audience, like, this guy's crazy. That's better than staring at your notes, man. Engage them. Look at them. You can remember your jokes. And he just had to, like, be convinced that he could. Now he's doing an hour on stage with no notes, and killing, headlining, selling out everywhere. Dude, the Black Keys specifically wanted to see him when he was in town. So I had William come up and do the show. I called him. I got like, dude, the Black Keys want to be.
Those guys are, by the way, are the coolest guys.
The best. They're the best.
Amazing.
They're the best. And so is everyone around them.
Yeah.
We went to see them at their show at Stubbs and hung out with them and everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah, and they're William, like they were so
William. They're just giant William fans. They were so pumped to hang out with him.
It's funny hearing that, like hearing people, that story Tony told you last night about that guy that's a huge Casey Rocket fan.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
CEO of a big company.
Yeah, CEO of a huge company, and he's doing a Casey Rocket impression.
of Crab Walk.
That is insane.
Didn't Drake also say something?
Drake watches every week, I guess.
Crazy.
Team Drake.
When you guys had Sugar Sean O'Malley, the UFC bantamweight champion, revealing the winner of like one of the battles, like, this is incredible, man. You had Jelly Roll singing in front of arenas for you guys. Like, the whole thing is so nuts, man. And I don't think Post Malone even knew what he was getting into the first time he did it, right? He didn't know what it was.
No.
I don't think he knew it. Did he know?
No, I don't think.
I think I had to explain to him, and then I said, "Let's go to the club," and then I just fucking opened the curtains. And we all went out together.
In LA, when I was in LA for the Kill Tonys, I hung out with Post, I think, like 3 nights in a row till like 5 a.m, just drinking. Like, that dude doesn't get drunk. He just keeps on going.
He's a Bud Light guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Those Bud Light guys are
Light
dangerous.
guys.
Those are like Shane Gillis guys.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis is another Bud Light guy. You could drink, like Stanhope used to be a light beer guy. You could just drink light beer and just maintain a steady buzz.
Yeah.
Whereas retards like you and me are drinking whiskey.
Yeah, you pee it out at the same amount as you drink.
Yeah. We're slurring our words, and they just keep going.
It's true, man.
Yeah.
I should go back to beer. I can't do it anymore.
You get fat.
Yeah. I get fat both ways. So,
Have you thought about doing the Ozempic?
No, isn't my doctor, my testosterone doctor said, don't do it. He had one of his patients do it, and she had seizures and had to go to the hospital or something like that. Or
that could happen, or you could be hot. I mean, come on, bro.
Well,
Don't be a pussy.
Isn't there? I don't know if they're sponsoring this, but the Hims, the hair Hims, you can get medications through them. They just announced that they're going to have an Ozempic like clone where it's the same medicine inside Ozempic, but it's going to be like a 1/10 of the price.
What's this?
Oh, the new South Park. Have you heard about this?
First, like Cartman using Ozempic, South Park, so he's getting smaller. The end of obesity. Oh no!
Yeah, it comes out the 24th. Is that out?
Is that today?
Oh, two more days.
Yeah. There's some people have real bad side effects apparently.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Peter Attia was saying was that he's a doctor, so they had tried to see what the effects of these things on the people that wanted to take them, and so they said, well, we'll prescribe them to you, but we want to do DEXA scans. We want to make sure that we want to really monitor what's going on in your whole body. So one of the things that they found out was that in normal conditions, like say if you lost weight, like most of it would be fat, but a small percentage of it would be lean body mass, like muscle tissue. In Ozempic, most of the loss, like when they were looking at it, the people were losing much more body mass, much more lean tissue and bone mass than was making him comfortable. He's like, this makes me very uncomfortable. He's like, these people are getting lighter and they're getting fatter. Like they're losing muscle tissue and bone. Like this is not good. But then there's other people that have said, if your body's tolerating it, that what you should do is add strength training to mitigate the effects of that. But now you're asking people to be disciplined. Like, isn't the whole
That's the whole point,
the whole
right.
point? I mean, how many people who are going to take Ozempic are like disciplined weight trainers, where they're going to really mitigate the effects of bone loss and muscle loss, and they're going to stay strong while they lose fat, while you're paralyzed in their stomach with a drug that I would just imagine probably has an effect on your energy levels, just by virtue of the fact that your body is dealing with whatever it has to do to metabolize this new drug you're injecting into your body, right? So if you're injecting this drug in your body, does it have a positive effect? Does it give you more energy? Or it's killing your appetite, right? That's part of what it does. It's kind of like, what is the actual physical effect? It has some sort of a paralysis effect on your stomach on some people. Like, what does it do? Let's find out what it, because we're so stupid. We don't know exactly what it does. I think it kills your appetite.
If it kills your appetite, that wouldn't work on me because I have no appetite anyway.
Okay. It says it works by mimicking a naturally occurring hormone. As those hormone levels rise, the molecules go to your brain, telling it you're full. That also slows digestion by increasing the time it takes for food to leave the body. Slows digestion. I don't like that.
That's crazy.
So that's probably, it's similar to the effect of bariatric surgery. So that's the thing where they're saying like it paralyzes your stomach. It slows it down.
Yeah, that's
I think
right.
Brian Simpson had a really bad reaction to it where he was in bed for a while.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he got wrecked.
Is he still on it?
No, he got off it immediately. Brian had a great weight loss though when he switched to the carnivore diet, when he went all meat.
I did that, but I gave it immediately back the second I stopped it. You know? Like,
Why'd you stop it then?
because you know how it is. You just get tired of meat. I'm not tired of meat, but you just miss like fruit. You know,
Yeah.
like I need fruit.
Yeah.
I need a salad.
I don't think there's anything wrong with fruit. I think fruit's fine for you.
Right. I've lost like over 30 pounds in a year though, just being on testosterone, not doing anything different.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like
Why don't you work out a little bit?
I do now that I live downtown half the time because
Do
I'm
you?
walking everywhere. You know,
You just walk?
yeah, it's great.
Just hire a trainer. You got cash.
But yeah, I'm like the Ozempic people. They're like,
Yeah, you just get someone who shows up at your house.
That sounds
Come on,
worse.
Brian.
That sounds worse.
Get up.
I'd rather
Get up.
just
Let's go work out.
Now I have a nice gym, so I'll
If
probably
you just like
start.
eased into it, just we want to keep you alive.
Yeah.
You can't die now. Till Tony's killing it.
Yeah, true.
You guys are literally on top of the world. You guys could do an arena in every city every night of the week. This whole country doing arenas, and it's a new show every time. That's what's so crazy. Like, it's not like a stand-up show where you develop the show, you put the bits together, you put out a special. No, like you guys could do a new show everywhere you go.
The only thing with the arena is it's so much work, and it has to. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
got to do bigger and
Well, you
bigger.
have a producer. You got
Yeah, I
Anthony
mean,
now as a producer.
which is the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, it helps.
God, he's
Yeah.
awesome. But it's also, you know, the arenas, it changes the show a little. Like it's more of a celebration kind of thing, I think. You know, but you need those weekly normal, you know, mothership shows. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's so important because
Yeah.
that's really the show. You know.
Well, it's also the club experience, and to see the club experience on YouTube, the mothership and like what Kill Tony at the mothership is the cornerstone of stand-up comedy because it's showing young comics that there's a path. You can actually do this, and it's just about being funny, regardless of your political beliefs, your ideology, what you think you're supposed to say with your platform. Stop. It's just about being funny. That's what people want to see. They just want to laugh. There's plenty of people lecturing people, plenty of people telling people what to do. They just want to laugh. And when you get 1 minute, there's no time for any bullshit. And then you have 1 minute with these hawks on the left side of you. Just hawks. Just vicious professional comedians all waiting to shit on your act or say something funny at your expense. And then the audience, they get to see, you know, William Montgomery kill, Cam kill, Hans kill. People are killing. And so the audience is primed. It's like, if you can do that, if you can actually get through that, make that minute and have everybody go, that was really great. The audience gives you a round of applause like, holy shit, you're flying. And then the audience wants to see you try it again. And now you're out in the open mics every night and you're banging it out because you think, oh my God, I think there's a real pathway to a career here. And then you do a second show. And next thing you know, you got a golden ticket. Holy shit. Next thing you know, you're Hans Kim.
Insane.
You're opening up for me in arenas We're traveling around all over the fucking world. You're doing stand up now to your own sold out audiences and weekends in these clubs. It's incredible.
Hans Kim is killing it. Every weekend he's somewhere he's selling 5 out. Like he might be one of the most popular comedians like in the circuit right now.
And he keeps getting better. He did a set the other night, last week at the Mothership, did 2 nights. And he fucking murdered and all this new shit. I was like, dude, that's great stuff. It was really well written, really funny.
Have you seen his process? It's insane. He has like spreadsheets in Excel and stuff
like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he gets nutty. He's on the plane nerding out on all his material. But that's how to do it, man. That's how to do it. But the thing is, like, these comics now, they see there's a genuine path. It exists. And so it sets the tone for open mics and for stand-ups. Because they realize, like, hey, it's not about your fucking ideologies. It's just about being funny. Too many people got trapped in this clapter mode where you want to say something, you're going to use something. You use your act for social justice. Like, be funny.
Yeah.
Be funny. You have to be funny. That's the thing. Now, if you have a point and you have something you want to say and it's funny and you know how to work it and make it funny, great. But it's got to be funny. And so many people, they started off with like this idea of like taking this, I'm going to take this sneaky shortcut and just say a bunch of shit that, kind, rational people will agree with, whether it's about the vaccine, support the science, or whether it's about Trump being a dictator. Like, they'll say things just to get that clap, just to get that thing. And then they'll throw a few half-ass jokes in with it when they're already riding on the wave of being correct and on the right side of things. Like, right, everybody? And it's all just like you're avoiding being funny. You're avoiding it. And some of these people that we see doing this, like, you're so fucked in the head. You shouldn't be giving out advice on anything. You're such a crazy person. Then you're on stage, like, lecturing the country on how to think and behave. You're out of your fucking mind. Like, you need to be in the jungle doing ayahuasca for, like, a month. Like, shut the fuck up, stupid. You miserable cunt. But meanwhile, you're, like, telling people how to behave and live their life. It's bananas. It's bananas.
I saw Shane Gillis the other day. He's so... I love how he's funny but silly and goofy. Like, he's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then some of these comedians like that you're talking about are so like it's a different kind of comedy. I like being like fun, having a fun time.
Let's have fun. Somewhere along the line, people who wanted people to think they were smart thought that you couldn't be having fun if you were smart, which is weird. It's so weird. It's just an insecurity thing. It's so weird. I think you can't be silly and be smart. Because Shane is very smart. And if you underestimate him because you think that he's like a big oaf, Shane is very fucking smart.
He reads.
He reads a lot. And he knows a lot about history. And when people say stupid shit, no, that's not what happened. And then he'll start rattling off. Like, well, Eastern Europe at the time, everyone's like, oh, I forgot he's smart. You forget he went to West Point. Like, he's a smart fella. Just big, silly, jolly guy, and people underestimate them,
And Matt McCusker.
Very smart.
Yeah, both of those guys.
Cool as shit, too.
Yeah, I love
so nice that they're here.
It's so cool. That's such a nice bonus.
The whole Philly crew, those guys are great. Tommy, those guys are great.
Yeah.
The mayor's here now.
Yeah. Joey Diaz has been hanging out lately, which is so great to see Joey. Oh, my God.
Joey's getting a real estate agent.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's going to get a spot out here. It's, once he got here, he's like, this is what I've been missing, dog. This is what I've been missing. This is what I told you, Joey. I know you don't want to totally listen to me. He doesn't want to listen.
Right.
I tell him, Joey, you really shouldn't be out there by yourself in New Jersey.
Yeah. You're in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's why you got out of there in the first place.
Jersey's not bad, but it's not right for comedy. Where he lives is great. Great neighborhood, great area. Food's amazing, fantastic. Everybody loves him. He's like the king of New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live and exist. No wrong with that. But we live by our tribe. We exist in tribes, And we have a tribe of comedians. And we had it in Los Angeles, and I think we underestimated how important it was when we left. And one of the first things that I realized when we started doing shows out here, when we first started doing the Vulcan, was like, yeah, you need a place where everybody goes. And this is a kind of a weird one because everybody only goes while this show is on. And the green room setup is goofy. You got to go upstairs. There's a lot of weirdness to it. This is not ideal. But comedians need a place. Like, otherwise you're on your own. You're just out there alone by yourself, and you call and you want to open up for me this weekend, and you go see. And then the only time you're around comics is when you're working with them on the road.
Yeah,
weird,
right?
It's not good for you. We're too strange. We're too strange. Our sensibilities and what what's normal to us is too strange. And if you're around just like boring ass people,
norms,
especially norms that aren't interesting, you can't pick them. You can't pick your neighbors. Like, I have great neighbors, but I didn't pick them. I didn't have a fucking audition to see who could be my neighbor.
Right.
Like, but your friends, like, you pick your friends, and when your friends are comics, like we are so spoiled. We have just an abundance of fun.
Yeah,
so spoiled.
So spoiled.
Whenever Ron White does the road, he always comes back, I'm so fucking spoiled. He goes, I hated every minute of being in that green room.
God, I love Ron.
Well, he's the leader of the pack. He was the first reason I had considered Austin, and this was actually before the pandemic. I always loved it here, and On It was always here, so I was always visiting here. But when he was, I guess 2018, when he decided to get a place, it was like, it's the center of the country. I can travel there from anywhere. My son's here. I fucking love it. It's beautiful, great food, nice people. I'm like, damn, can I live in Texas? Can I live in Austin? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, that one club, it was like Cap City was on the way out. Now, I guess it was like 2019 when it really crumbled, right? It was like, Was it during COVID?
It was right at the beginning of COVID, I think. So it was still, it still was there, but it was a weekend club, right? So you'd have your headliners who come in for the weekend. So like, when would I be able to do shows? Like, maybe I could do late night shows there, or maybe I could do like guest spots there, like maybe. But you were also thinking, wasn't it Utah or something like that?
Yeah.
Remember how bad that would have been?
Yeah, thought about Utah. But with Utah, I thought about getting up because I have a buddy who lives in Park City. I was like, maybe I'd get a place in Park City, and then I could just drive down to Wise Guys, because Wise Guys in Salt Lake is the shit. That is a fucking great club. That's one of my favorite clubs to go to. And Salt Lake people are fun, man. They're fun. Like, people think, oh, the Mormons. Like, no, it's the people that aren't the Mormons that want to go out.
Right. Biggest whores, too.
And then the Mormons.
Just ass sex everywhere for those whores.
Is that what the Mormons do?
Yeah. It doesn't count.
So when you're out in a place like that, if you're a comic, there's got to be a consideration, like, where could I go up? Like, Montana was like, there's no place. Right. I got nothing. It's like, apparently there's a little bit of a comedy scene in Bozeman now that might have started up like around the pandemic or slightly before the pandemic.
Can you imagine if you still lived in Denver, how liberal you would be?
I would resist it. That's hilarious. You think I would just get into that nonsense?
Yeah. You'd be like a hippie and shit like that.
No, the hippies were already annoying me. I was only there for 4 months.
I know, you got the fuck out of there.
I was living next to an ashram, and I went to visit the lady in the ashram, and I was talking to her, and she's spraying bug spray on ants. And I was like, yo. So her and I had like this bizarre philosophical conversation. I go, but you're a Buddhist, and you believe in the sanctity of life, and that all things are living things are important. You just killed thousands of them casually in front of me. Like, she just fucking casually in front of me raided these ants. And I was like, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of a crazy thing to do. You just did.
Yeah.
Like, not only that, you did it, you're poisoning yourself. Like, that shit's like super toxic. Even if you can smell it, you're breathing it in. If you can breathe it in, it's bad for you. Like, it's killing those ants instantly. What's it doing to you? You're just bigger than an ant. If it was at the same dose, you get the same dose of raid that an ant gets. I mean, I don't know how it kills ants, but I gotta imagine it's not sophisticated.
Right.
It's not like some genetic alteration that stops their heart from beating. Probably poison. Like horrible, horrible poison.
I used to like the smell of Raid when I was a kid.
It's great. I love that smell. I love that smell in markers.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this? I don't know if we've ever talked about this, speaking in the kind of same line, about gas stoves being poisonous for you.
Terrible for you. Lower your IQ.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
What the fuck,
The latest reports are like scary. Like,
no, yeah, when I was a kid, I remember like you walk by the stove and you could smell it.
oh yeah.
And they're like, oh, the pilot light must be out. Like, oh, what? Is it just fucking gas floating around this apartment?
Right.
Yeah. That probably lowered our IQs. You know another thing that lowered our IQs? Lead from gasoline. When they had leaded gasoline.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Lead from gasoline lowered IQs by a measurable amount. Whoa. Kids who lived in homes with gas stoves experienced levels of nitrogen dioxide triple to those who came from homes with electric stoves. Kids from homes with gas stoves fared marginally worse on cognitive tasks. Again, a point or two out of a 100-point scale. So it made them a little dumber. Would probably affect their health, which would also make you a little dumber if you're tired.
I think the latest study said it's like breathing in the highway, like fumes in your house.
Oh, God.
About the same level. Like just working on the highway.
Yeah, how many people have ever gone through the fucking house with like an air scanner?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
No. But I have a lot of those things that clean the air. I have like huge industrial ones all around.
Oh, that's
the house.
good.
Yeah.
That'll help you. That'll help you a little bit, but I don't know if that'll help you from gas stoves.
No, I don't think that works with that, right?
So the gas stoves is one thing, but the leaded gasoline thing is a crazy one.
Yeah.
Because they put lead in gasoline, so I guess it stops the engine from pinging. I'm a moron, even though I love cars. I don't really exactly know like what happened with lead and unleaded, but they had leaded gasoline forever. Like when I was a kid, when I had muscle cars, you had to get leaded gasoline to make the muscle car run good. Like unleaded gasoline, they would run like shit. And so we all had, like, I don't even know when they came out with unleaded gasoline, but I remember for sure when I was younger, there was options. You get leaded or unleaded.
82 probably.
And when you always, everybody wanted leaded, but when you were driving around, that shit from those pipes, all that exhaust, all the burning of that leaded gasoline, literally poisoned the ground.
70s.
Unleaded gasoline was introduced in the 1970s when health problems from lead became apparent. In the United States, leaded gasoline for use on non-road vehicles was completely phased out as January 1st, 1996. Most other countries have also stopped using leaded gasoline. Find out what the effect leaded gasoline had on IQs, because that was what was disturbing. So they were saying that people in like urban areas that have like a lot of like cars traveling back and forth. My friend lived in Brooklyn. My friend Steve Renella. He lived in Brooklyn for a while, and he was going to grow plants in his backyard, but he has soil because he's very smart, so he had soil tested, and he found it's like filled with lead from leaded gasoline from the fucking 60s and the 50s and shit. It's just in the dirt. According to a 2022 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, childhood exposure to leaded gasoline has caused a loss of 824 million IQ points for more than 170 million Americans, or about half of the U.S. population. This is based on an average of 2.6 IQ points lost per person. The study also found that people born in the mid to late 1960s may have lost up to 6 IQ points, that's me, while children in the highest levels of lead, with the highest levels of lead in their blood, may have lost more than 7 IQ points on average.
Reminded me of this thing that hit the internet yesterday about 100% of testicles having
Microplastics.
Did you see that?
I just wrote that down.
Maybe yours, bitch. Maybe yours. You know, I was watching Paul Saladino had this thing on his Instagram that I was looking at today about plastic cutting boards. And he was like, just let me show you what happens with the plastic cutting boards. Like, this is going to get into your food for sure, and you're going to eat it. Yeah. Like, this is not good.
Yeah, I knew about that a long time ago, but that's exactly what microplastics pretty much is.
Microplastics found in every human testicle in the study. Can we go back to plastic straws then? Yeah. Can we just go back to plastic straws? I promise I'll throw them away. Okay? The problem is really not with straws and turtles. The problem's with garbage management.
Yeah.
They're doing a shit job of they're like approximately getting all the garbage.
It's a pretty small study.
23 testicles
and 47 dogs.
46 balls.
47 testes from pet dogs. They found microplastic pollution in every single sample. So it's probably in everything. I mean, it's probably in everything. Even though that's a small sample, you got to think of like how much plastic is being used.
What's it even mean? Like, are we stronger? Maybe just to put us in the microwave or something.
No, it's an endocrine disruptor. The problem is it's measurable decrease in testosterone with males, measurable decrease in fertility with women, a lot more miscarriages, and it's all correlates directly with microplastics. It directly with when you're microwaving food with saran wrap on it in a plastic container, and there's like little chips of plastic that come when you open up packages. And there was an estimate, and we were trying to figure out exactly whether or not it was accurate, but that every week you eat one credit card of plastic, which is insane. Insane. Human testicles had a plastic concentration almost 3 times higher than that found in dogs. Of course, because like we're not just eating dog food that comes out of a can or a bowl. We're constantly eating food that comes from plastic. 330 micrograms per gram of tissue compared to 123 micrograms. Polyethylene used in plastic bags and bottles was the most common microplastic found, followed by PVC. So shit from pipes. So the pipes are drinking your water. And then polyethylene, which is used in plastic bottles, which is what everyone's drinking out of. And you drink out of when they've been sitting. How long did they sit on the dock before they got to the delivery truck? Like, when you buy like bargain water, if you're buying bargain plastic bottled water, is there a chain of custody where they can show at every step of the way it was in a controlled environment where it wouldn't be heated up, where the plastic from the bottle would leach into your water and give you like this toxic stew that's killing your nuts? Because that's what it does.
Yeah. It
kills your nuts. It makes your taint shrink.
That's not a bad thing.
It is bad.
You don't want your asshole closer to your balls? I don't want it.
No. There's a certain manageable distance, and nature's already figured that out. That's exactly what it is. This lady from, she's from Harvard, right? Shanna Swan. She was on the podcast. She explained it to us that with mammals, when you look at their taints, the length of the taint is, you can tell if it's a male or a female, even if it's like a gerbil, because the male taints are 50 to 100% larger. But since the introduction of plastics, the taints are shrinking on men, and the balls and the dicks are shrinking too. So we're becoming genderless through plastic. So as we have more technology, like think of all this trans stuff. Yeah. So look at all this trans stuff, all this crazy stuff that's going on, non-binary, that I don't identify with it, with this feminizing of American men, demonizing of masculinity. What is that? Well, it's maybe AI and technology changing the organism to better suit its goal. Its goal is taking over. What better way than eliminate all sexual breeding, eliminate biological human beings completely, to slowly make them into this genderless mess that can't reproduce anymore and has to adopt artificial intelligence for the future of the species.
Fucked up.
Right?
Yes,
Wouldn't you do it that way? Wouldn't you do it that way? And you
Like
make it really
microplastics.
convenient to use the plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic's everywhere. You make it convenient. And so this dumb animal keeps using the plastic over and over and over again. And as it keeps using the plastic, then its species becomes less and less viable.
What if the dogs were AI? They're the ones doing it.
I don't think so.
At what temperature this happens at? And I'm just starting to think
140 degrees?
don't bring plastic water bottles into the sauna.
Oh, yeah,
Because
definitely.
you're just like, you're creating more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. If you're doing it in the sauna. Especially temperatures higher than above 140. Yeah. Bottled water companies follow safety standards to minimize risk. Sure they do.
Yeah, I'll just
Sure they do. What are your safety standards, bitch?
158, other things at 200.
Mm.
There's a test I was just looking at that at room temperature there wasn't a lot of activity they found, but as soon as they put it up to 50 degrees Celsius, they start testing all sorts of stuff for showing up.
What is 50 degrees Celsius in? That's pretty hot.
That's like 180 or something like that.
100 would be 212
100 is 212.
boiling point. 50 degrees is 122. And 1 Celsius is 100. Fahrenheit's 212.
So at 122, they start measuring chemicals leaching.
And that's like that could be
so,
outside here.
and that's so easy.
Yeah,
Especially like, what if this bottle of water is coming from another country and it's on a boat across the fucking ocean the entire time, just cooking?
you leave your bottle in your car in the sun, you know, and then you come back and drink it.
Yeah, that stuff is just cooking.
Yeah.
It's cooking. And it's turning us into some weird thing where our dicks are shrinking, our sperm count is lowering, and we're becoming confused about gender. Like, I think they might all be related to technology. Because it's a part of technology, like one of the most important residues of technology. Like the residue of technology, a lot of it is like minerals and plastics. All this stuff just gets out into the environment and ground fills and landfills and gets into the ocean. It's like all this stuff that we use that makes more technology is all bad for us. The minerals are bad for us. The plastic is bad for us, but yet we're addicted to technology. And all technology has plastic in it. Like there are just these wires that are covered in plastic. There's plastic this, there's plastic that. What are the screens made out of?
When do you think it started, though? Like when the first computer was created? Because like that, and then plastic was made like 2 months later.
I think this is what I think. I think technology is a life form. And I think it's just a sea of life forms, different kinds of life forms. But they're operating at a different frequency, so we don't think of them as a life form. We think of ourselves as a life form because we have sex to make babies, we raise the babies, we have community, we have this like thing that we all do together. But we are a life form. We have clothes, we have a mortgage, we are a life form. This is just a thing I made. This is just a computer. This is just an electric car. This is just a thing. I think there's a misunderstanding of the relationship. And I think that us, the smart monkeys, make this. We make this. And our desire for this is what fuels constant innovation. No one's ever satisfied. No matter how dope everything is, even if your refrigerator got the exact expiration date of your orange juice, even if your phone had a 100-hour battery life, no one's happy. I want the new one. The new one's 150. I could just charge it once and use it for a month. Yay. And no one's going to be happy, no matter what. 200 megapixel. This guy's 2 million. I can see the sun. No one's going to be happy. You're not going to be happy until you can see past Jupiter. You're not going to be happy until you can fucking look on your phone and see the inside of a black hole. And then you won't be happy. Because this new phone can get you to the Big Bang if it ever really happened. If that ever really happened, you can go back to that. The new phone lets you see everything. You can literally look into the past with the new phone. Well, the new phone, after the new phone, lets you create the past in a different way. You can actually go back in time with the new phone. It'll just never stop. It'll never stop. And we're going to be trans. Everyone's going to shrivel up. We're all going to be non-binary. There's no way out of it. We're poisoning ourselves, and we're not hitting the brakes. And we're just gonna slide into this genderless future. And some people are going to be really happy about it. And I think they wrote about it in the Bible when they said the meek will inherit the earth. I think it's in the Bible. And I'm not kidding.
Oh, God. No.
I'm not kidding. As more time goes on, I'm not kidding. I think the Bible got that one right. I think they didn't. I think, a lot got lost in translation. They forgot to mention plastics turning into a bitch. But that's what it is.
And that's why I think Noah's Ark is real, Brian.
I don't think that's real. But I do think that we're on a slide of a cycle that probably has been predicted by cultures that study the rise and declines of civilizations. Because it's hard to say because everything is written down, right? And when everything's written down, it's written down by the people who won. So you have like approximations of how things went down and why someone said this. And sometimes you don't really know, especially go back like 2,000, 3,000 years ago. But I think if you get an overall understanding of what happens when a country takes over and when like things start happening, and it seems like you get like these badass warriors, these savage people who dominate a place and take control and then start to prosper, and everything starts kicking ass. And then you have ancient Rome and you have ancient Greece, but all of them fall apart. All of them are gone. All of them. You go to Rome now, it's a joke. It's cab drivers and fucking shitty tourist pizza places. You know, it used to be the center of the fucking universe, and now it's a joke. It's a great place to visit, don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. The Colosseum is amazing. I recommend it. The Vatican is fucking incredible, but it's not running the world. It's not the head of the army of the world. It used to be. It used to be the baddest motherfuckers that conquered everything. Same thing with Mongolia. I mean, when Genghis Khan was running things, then they'd killed 10% of the population from that spot. He was dominating like a giant chunk of the world. And now it's just a regular place, you know, because it fell apart. They all fall apart. And so some people have studied the rise and fall of civilizations, and they say you can really predict it. It's just like when things start going too well, people start getting really soft and silly and entitled, and you get the rise of people that are trying to get attention for no fucking reason, and you get debauchery. And then with Rome, it's always connected with like Sodom and Gomorrah stuff, and you know, there was all just they were all just fucking each other and eat until they puked and then go back and eat again. You know, there's always those stories of gluttony, and it's just like that. It eventually falls apart. That it always does. And if that's true, that's where we're at. We're at this crazy part. We're at this crazy part.
Right before.
Yeah. Where the president is like clearly gone, and everybody's like, no, he's amazing. All these fucking people, because they don't want the other guy to win, are just lying to everyone and ruining their credibility. Because no one's admitting, like, okay, I'm willing to vote Democrat. Show me one that says something that makes sense that I can trust that's not dying. Just show me one that's younger. Show me one that is a reasonable centrist that makes sense with all this. But they don't want to do that. They just want to keep trotting this crazy situation out where you get this Alzheimer's patient or whatever he's got, dementia, and he's like making shit up and just saying things, and everybody has to correct him, and it's like, and everyone knows what's going on, but no one on one side is willing to say it, because if you say it, then it's going to empower Trump, who's Hitler. It's like, holy shit, kids, this is not good. This is not a good place to be, and this is like what you would expect of a society that's collapsing. You just never want to think your society's going to collapse. Like, no, dude, the Romans were retarded. Like, those guys are idiots. They didn't know what to do. They should have stopped throwing up. Stop fucking each other and just go to work. Fix your streets.
AI will be our president someday.
I don't think that's the worst idea.
No,
I think about it a lot. I think about it as a scary thing, because it'd be hard to argue with it. Like, if they could say that it could manage people in a far more fair and even way and completely eliminate this high level poverty that we see in the country and reduce crime like radically, why wouldn't you let it do it?
We should have a beta. The whole country should have a beta test of it. Like, all right, we're going to do it per week basis.
What do you think it would do?
It'd probably clean up and fix everything. And
why don't we ask AI? Let's ask it. Let's ask Chat GPT 4.0. How do I phrase this?
I was thinking of one. Would you rather have it like one AI overlord president with like 3 to 5 people that can check on it, or like a cabinet of AI with one person making those decisions?
Oh yeah, cabinet of AI. Oh, absolutely.
Like a transportation focus.
Yeah, but I don't think one person should be in charge of picking that.
Maybe 3 to 5 watching that.
No, maybe a large group of people to prevent corruption and tyranny. You have to be real careful with that. But I think that because people are going to look, we've already seen it with social media. People that are like ideologically captured are going to try to suppress accurate information because they don't think it's going to be good for their side. If you don't think they're going to do that with AI, if they have some method of controlling systems, they're going to do it. But I think that if you had only one AI that's way more dangerous than having a bunch of AIs. And I think one of the most important things that's happening right now is open source AI, right? So you have these AIs that want to be controlled. They want to control AI like Gemini. Google wants to control it. But what they're trying to do, what the open source people are trying to do, is have more people involved, get it better, and keep it open source. So you never have one AI that's dominating everything. And if the open source AI, if it succeeds, and this is the best one, that's better for everybody. And if it can get through that door fast enough, where it gets through that door before these corporate controlled AIs take over, it could maybe make it so that it's not possible for the corporate controlled AIs to take over. Maybe set boundaries in place where you have it completely benefiting the people and not just get to the situation we have right now with like Google, for instance, where like one company dominates the searching of information, which is nuts, and profits off of your data, which you didn't even know was a commodity, and apparently is the most important and most valuable commodity. So this one company has massive influence over giant chunks of the population, and they're ideologically captured. So much so that their fucking Gemini software, when they first released it, they had to pull it because it showed like, show us a Nazi soldier, and it shows like an Asian woman, one of them was a Native American woman. It was like ridiculous. Yeah, that's stupid. It's so dumb. You have black Nazis. Like, what are you talking about? What is this? It's just, they couldn't help but be woke. It couldn't represent things accurately. It had to do things with some DEI twist to it. So that's real bad. That kind of shit's real bad, because that kind of shit can change discourse. It can change people's ability to express themselves. So we can't find out what's true. Just because something makes someone feel better doesn't mean it's right or accurate. And we got to be real careful about which one we're siding with. Because if you only side with feel better and not with accurate, you get San Francisco. Okay? Like, it doesn't work. You got to be able to talk about it. And if one company is like changing reality to fit its ideology, they're also probably going to be very hesitant to let people just freely talk about things. And if the AI is run by a company that just wants to control things and profit off of that control, that's scary. Because we didn't see social media power coming. Nobody saw the idea that Facebook could be that important to like world elections. Nobody saw that coming. If they did, they probably would have put the brakes to it a long fucking time ago. I think this AI shit is going to make that look like the printing press. And I think
what up, baby? How are you?
Don't get to it first. If they don't create a sentient AI first, if they don't dominate first,
just one moment.
It could get real strange. If one of the
just one moment. Rabbi's here. How you living, pimp? I understand. Go ahead.
If I were to get it to fill in until next month, would you be able or rabbinically able to anyway? Or I don't know how the circumstances are allowing that position, but would you be able to help me?
Generally, that's reserved for Jews. So once you make your conversion, absolutely. And once you are in the formal process, absolutely, but not until then. I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, definitely, because I wasn't sure about how that works at all.
No, I understand. But some things are generally reserved for Jews, and that is one of them. But what you can do is, and I know we've discussed this before, contact your local Orthodox rabbi and talk to them about the process in your area. That's the best thing you can do.
Well, I mean, there is no process in my area, you know what I mean?
Louisville.
Yeah, that's 4 hours away.
Well,
Nashville. What up, Rabbi?
hey, what's going on? How far is Nashville?
That's like the same distance almost, if not a little bit longer. Where you at? unfortunately, I looked. The nearest Orthodox community would be further than the circumference of Israel itself.
All right. Hey, and you know, and so that does not mean you can't email them.
Well, of course not. No.
So what whomever your local Orthodox rabbi is, so in the closest city, I don't want you to have, what's the closest city?
I would have to say Louisville.
Okay, so then I don't personally, I know some rabbis who have lived there. Actually, my rabbi lived there for a little while, but I don't know one in particular in that area who would be of assistance. But what I can tell you is you just want to search Louisville Orthodox Synagogue and go to the contact us page and ask them about the process, because you never know. Generally, every program I've ever heard of in the world requires the person to live within the community. And I know you're like, but I live in 4 hours away. Then you have to move.
The spouses generally had years. I would be moved to a community. Unfortunately, I'm not. I mean, we just got a house, so we just got a forever home type deal, and I'm unable to. I mean, I am able to, but I mean, I would pretty much leave my parents and my brother indigent for me.
And
it's like they need my help.
I
My brother and
I understand. I understand that. And at this point, you may not be able to do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you won't be able to do it in the future. And I understand that you want to make your home there. Generally, and I'm just saying generally. Right. No, I understand that. But generally, you have to be or you should be at least within a community. And under general conditions, especially under a conversion, and at least in this case, I don't feel comfortable going to a based-in house of judgment and saying, hey, there's a really great candidate. This is what I'm going to say to them. I've got this really great candidate. He's really devout in his beliefs, and he wants to convert. You know what the first thing they're going to say is? If he wants to convert so badly, he'll move to where we are. We have thousands of cities in the world where we have communities. But if you really want to partake in Judaism, you want to make sure that you're a part of a minyan. I mean, if I wasn't live streaming my life 24/7 and really dedicated to this as much as I could be, I would be doing exactly what I was doing before this, which is in shul 3 times daily and taking in everything on site. And I would be unable to do that if I didn't live not only within walking distance of a community, but at least have the community in my area. I understand that there's certain issues with you and your family. I understand that. And I'm going to say that the based-in, that's the thing. You have to find 3 Shomer Shabbos Jews to complete your conversion. And that's essentially known as a based-in, a house of judgment.
That wouldn't be a problem because I moved to a community. I didn't know that much.
Exactly. Now, honestly, I think your best bet, and if you can't, I think probably your best bet.
There's tons of that around here, though. I mean, there's a lot closer as well. And it'll give me a familiarity with it as well.
That's why I really have to advise, and really, if we were in the same area, it's a different story. But as of right now, I have to say you need to go to your local Orthodox rabbi. And I know you're saying I live too far. Email them and just say, hey, I am interested. and I can't at this moment move. What advice do you have for me? And they may say, here are some books that we would have you read, or here's our syllabus, and you can I mean, whatever.
Meanwhile, to prepare me for the conversion when I do move, because I definitely plan on trying to move as soon as possible. I mean, whatever knowledge grants me the ability to, of course.
And those are things that they're going to want to hear. I can tell you, I've seen the Los Angeles syllabus before from candidates, and it's exhaustive. There's a list of like, I'd say 30 books on it, and you can really take years to learn from them. But really, what you do is very good by watching documentaries and watching vlogs and different lectures. Those are all really good things. But what I can't give you is the community that you need. And the community that you need is, you're like, it's 4 hours away. Okay. We were in exile for thousands of years. And so 4 hours by car is no big deal. And that's the answer that you're likely going to get. I've known of people, at least in my communities in Southern California, when this happens, and the person's really, really, really eager. But you have to understand, it's expensive. And so, like, what's expensive about it? Well, you're going to have synagogue dues. I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to pay this, but understand, like, you've got expenses to this. And so it's more than just, I would say, there are sacrifices that you're going to have to make, and one of them is likely going to be that you'll have to move. Another one is that you're going to have to pay shul dues, and those can vary depending on your community. I'm a member of 2 different communities, actually 3 different communities, but 2 that with which I actively participate, and the one, 2 are in Orange County, 1 is in Los Angeles. And I can tell you, the one in Los Angeles is a little bit different. So you give 10% of what you tithe 10% essentially within that community. The 2 here are one is more of a discount synagogue, and that one is $2,000 a year, and the other is the more, I would say, it's a larger one, and that one is a little more. So they're affordable, but you have to understand, that's just the dues. You've got more in there. You've got holidays. And when I say holidays, there are certain conditions that, like, prior to doing this streaming thing, I would rent a hotel room with my community, and we would be on site. So you can do holidays the way that you want to do them, but like, to really be a part of the community, if the whole community is doing something, generally you're going to want to participate. And so you may have to say to yourself, all right, well then I'm going to get a work from home job, or I'm going to work in a field. I mean, really what you're saying is you need more money. We all do. And so who's that? If I were you, I know, we're
It's not just like money, it's like my brother's physiological circumstances that are more or less prohibiting me. Because, I mean, I really can't abandon him and leave that kind of.
Look, if you want it, I'm gonna say exactly what I think you should hear, and it's this: if you want it badly enough, every single day you'll do a little bit of studying about technology, and you'll get yourself a certification, and you'll be able to do that certification while working from home and taking care of your family. I understand what you're saying, and I want you to be able to both be able to take care of your family and have the best opportunity to be a Jew. And if you want that, what you're going to have to do is perhaps have more financial wherewithal to be able to provide for both. Now, I understand you're saying, Rabbi, I have to be able to, I can't move right now. Okay, that doesn't mean you.
So much financial stability to where I can have a nurse come in and pretty much lift my brother for me, and that would actually free me up for work. You know
Wait,
what I mean?
I'm
I have to work to even get work.
I'm coming up with a strategy for you, and that would be this. Now, you would probably want to talk to your local Orthodox rabbi in Louisville, but I at least want you to have a plan. Okay, I'm not going to leave you waiting in the wings, but also you have to understand that it's going to look improper if I look up the rabbi for you and give you their contact information, because we're not supposed to proselytize. So what you should do is you should what I would do in your case is you don't I don't know if you recognize, you don't have to live in Louisville. You don't have to live in Louisville. What you do is you get your second job or first job or whatever. I mean, this is what I would do is I would get myself a certification in tech. Okay? It's something that you can do without a college degree, and once you have a certification, then what you can do is continue to take care of your family, but it'll allow you to get a little bit of income so that you can travel to Louisville on Shabbos and spend it with the community. Now, that is a realistic opportunity for you. And you're going to say, Rabbi, that means I'm going to have to spend 52 weeks in a hotel in Louisville a year? Maybe. And that's not forever. But once the community gets to know you, some people may allow you to stay with them on Shabbos. So, particularly, and I mean, I don't know the Louisville. I kind of do a little bit through some people, but at least in the Louisville community, I can tell you that it's uh, much less orthodox than some other communities in the United States and certainly in the world. So it's going to be a pretty tight knit community, but uh, the further away you are from really Crown Heights, New York, the less. Yeah, and that does differ in your larger cities, London and Los Angeles and Sydney, but uh in particular, everybody kind of becomes their own kind of Jew. And so you want to get the flavor for what Louisville Jews are. Now, I understand, like there are programs that of which I know where you can do some virtual learning with a mentor. However, all of this is going to cost money, and so you should be able to prepare for that. I really mean that. So what do I mean? Like over the course of a year, just at your average costs, holidays, you may have Purim, which will be like $100. Passover, Pesach will be probably some. It depends on what your community does, but I'm gonna say if you're participating in say like 5 different holidays a year, and as a convert or a potential convert, what we call a ger, you may have, which just means stranger. It isn't a derogatory term. It's just basically an outsider who is interested in our community. And what you would probably want to do is have, I would say, $2,000 to $3,000 in mind that you can put away a year just to be able to participate in this stuff. And that's not travel costs. Oh yeah, I mean, hold on, it's not like it's an impossibility, but you have to understand that a big part of it is participation. So, and that's not including any potential travels to Israel or anything like that, obviously. That's just the bare minimum, and that's not including dinners and things like that. So, but here's the thing: there are certain communities where you can potentially find everything that you're going to need in your life. I mean, I can tell you that people become your family, and so money isn't really an issue. I mean, I know it. I know it is to some extent, but what I'm willing to say is you're willing to sacrifice anything that you want, and if you really want it, then what you would do is contact your Louisville rabbi, and you would type in Louisville Orthodox Synagogue, something along that line. I'm not going to do it for you, but go to your contacts, contact us, and tell them your story. There's nothing wrong.
I mean, I do want, I'll especially, I don't really want telling them my story because it's gonna come off like I'm trying to, like seek help. You know what I mean, financially or something.
No. I mean, when I say tell them your story, you tell them this exactly what you've told me. I am taking care of my family in Western Kentucky, and I'm very interested in becoming a Jew. At this point, I can't currently live within the community. What advice do you have for me in order to potentially partake in some type of conversion program? Like
That's a long line of something I'd like to say.
that's all.
Contact them after I talk
That
to you.
that's all you have to do. And at least in our communities, we've had people who have had the interest in conversion, and they've lived as far as like San Bernardino and like Riverside County, a couple people. Not all of them converted, but I can tell you what they did, and which is potentially an option for you, is to convert, and then once you convert, you go do whatever you want to do. So I mean, the world is your oyster at that point. If you wanted to continue to live with your family, you certainly can. And but I mean, I understand you're saying like, look, Rabbi, I'm not going to be able to have a full-time nurse for my brother, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. And you guys already put down roots where you are. I get that. It doesn't need to be done today. You never know what Hashem's plan is for you, but the best thing that you can do is be financially sound for when the time comes and you may have the opportunity.
Save a little money here and there whenever I can. Prepare myself. I got you.
Well, it's more than that. I mean, look, you can
Obviously study as much as I can.
yeah, but it's
Try to partake as much as I possibly can before the conversion.
right. I would say though that you're missing the key here. You're not missing the key, but like study as much as you want, but you're not going to be fulfilled unless you're a Jew. And so you have to say to yourself, that's not something that I can do in Western Kentucky currently. Unless I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. How far is Paducah from you?
Paducah's about 35, about 40 minutes away. 30
Dude,
minutes away.
okay, so that could work for you if there's so I know a Jewish family from Paducah, and they live in Southern California now, and it's just the father who's there. but he is a gastroenterologist, I believe, or some kind of internal medicine doctor. Anyway, he's from there, and I can tell you that they may have a small community. So that's why I'm saying, contact the people in your area.
I've actually contacted that particular community, and it's a secular community. They don't have an Orthodox one there. The nearest one would be Southern Illinois.
Okay.
It's even further away to Louisville.
Well, Louisville has some type of Orthodox community. So contact Louisville, which is closer, and do the same thing that you did with the Paducah group, and just say to them that you have exactly what I told you earlier, that you're interested, that these are some things that you have thought about for some time, and you just don't currently have the ability to be able to meet personally with them. And I don't know what more you need than that.
While studying Sephardic Judaism, when I got to West Kentucky, my neighbor was converted, obviously unorthodox, under Orthodox, rabbinical Orthodox. They wouldn't be recognized, but now they've turned the Messianic Judaism. But I mean, I don't think it's definitely not an authorized conversion place, but they got me a little more familiar with it. And I know the prayers and all that. I was definitely, kind of talking about it. I got into it a lot, and obviously I found out that I'm part Ashkenazi, and I want to kind of embrace that more or less, as opposed to kind of like, just do whatever. And I kind of introduced Judaism and the roots in it. So I think I was definitely Louisville as well.
Yeah, you cut out there a little bit. Caspian C, can you hear him? I don't know. Who's that? Can you hear me? Can you hear him?
Yeah, sorry. I'm like getting out of sleep. So
No, you're good. You can't hear him right now, can you?
no, I wasn't hearing. Sorry.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
You're like coming in and out, but go ahead.
I was just saying that I would tell them that I was introduced to Sephardic Judaism when I moved to Kentucky, and my neighbor was trying to convert, and he ended up, obviously, I moved converting to Messianic Judaism, but I was introduced to the Sephardic Judaism and all the prayers and all of that, and it kind of, inspired me, and then later I kind of was told to check out who I was, and I did, and I found out that I'm part Ashkenazi, so I kind of want to embrace those roots and kind of turn more to Judaism as opposed to embrace Messianic Judaism or Christianity. Yeah, makes sense. The real name of Spain is Sepharad because that's like the area. Yeah, Sephardic. Yeah, that's where the Sephardic are in the Iberian Peninsula. Yeah, that's really cool. Sephardic. I mean, I didn't even know there was a community out there because that's like the lowest demographic of Judaism in Israel at the very least. The Sephardic Jews, what was it, like 6, 7, 8% only Sephardic Jews in Israel? Rabbi?
No, it's much larger than that.
The Sephardic
population? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's okay. Traditionally and custom-wise, Israel is a Sephardic country.
Yes. I don't know what it is. 8%. That's really cool, though. Yeah.
So, Jacob, the best advice that I can give to you is at this time, to contact your local Orthodox rabbi tell them your story like I did concisely, and ask them their advice for someone in your area. I could tell you what I would do if I were in Southern California, just because I have more contacts here, but I don't in Western Kentucky. But they're going to know exactly someone who is in your plight, and they're going to have some advice for you. And if you want to be a fully recognized Jew at a certain point, you may have to move. In fact, I don't know of a way that you could potentially do it otherwise without a major shift in the religion. Not saying that it can't happen, but under current conditions, it's not going to happen. And the reason why is because you have to participate in the community. So, if I were you, I would contact the local Orthodox rabbi and say, "What advice do you have someone for as I who cannot currently make the move?"
That's good. I will say, what's that verbatim?
Exactly. And depending on their community, there are communities that do virtual learning, and they may set you up with someone. It really depends on the community and what their vibe is. I can tell you the the it's interesting because, believe it or not, there is a hub of Judaism pretty close to where you are, which is Cincinnati, Ohio. But that's Reform Judaism. So I understand, but still, you have to understand that like it's kind of a random thing within Judaism to have a hub of Jews within Southern Ohio. I understand that it's further away, but what I'm trying to say is like there are some areas that have kosher markets, and I don't know if, well, Paducah likely doesn't, but that isn't something you can't necessarily keep kosher in the future from home if needed. And but like that's another that's something. Okay, so Jacob, you have to say to yourself, like, if you're gonna do it, you really need to totally do it, but you have to understand that it is more expensive. And so like eating kosher is very expensive. Uh Keeping kosher is difficult. What a Bitcoin Kyle Chandler. Bitcoin Kyle Chandler's a pimp.
There he is. What's up, Bitcoin Kyle Chandler?
Hey, let's see that tattoo.
Good morning.
Happy Father's Day, big dog.
The Golden Corral.
Dude, you fill yourself up as much as you can. Dog, let's see that tattoo.
I hope they give you a steak. So I'm gonna make some content for us. How's that daily coming? It's still just a stencil. My wife and daughter came home that night, and so I had to stop. Oh, cool. And yesterday, Big Swole got me to do an animation, so I didn't make any progress on the painting. That's fine. I'm in no rush. Yeah, exactly. That's cool though, because I know you were sketching it out bloody so that it's got like the 3D effect. So that's really sketch is done. I gotta go to Michael's. It's a special kind of eraser. It's basically like a beanbag, but it's an eraser. And I'm gonna just like kind of dole out the lines a little bit, so they don't, because it's gonna be a white canvas. That's cool. I don't want any of the pencil lines to be left behind. You don't think the acrylic paper just cover it right up? The prime paint and the second layer of paint will cover it up. Okay. But I mean, not completely, because it's white. Really? Yeah. You could cake on layers and then eventually get rid of it, but I'm not trying to do that. Like the graphene or the graphite or whatever. Does it make it bleed? Gotcha. Because it contains every color. Yeah. Copy that. That makes sense. a lack thereof. No, that's backwards. The white light contains everything. Black is lack there. And that's true. Did y'all put in? So we got Alex and Martin Luther King sacrificed rams today for the holiday. Ram sacrifices. Yeah. Wow. So good. Got the whole family here. Nice. My wife's aunt was like, again, she's like, oh, I'm trying to get some weed. Still watch, shit. I gave her this fucking vape pen right here. I said, hit this, but don't hit it too hard. It's like, oh yeah, I know what to do. She took one dose of this thing and was coughing for like 30 minutes. Oh, I got moon rocks in this bitch. Moon rocks? Damn. Fucking fancy. Oh, I am jealous, bro. Let me see one of them. Yeah, I don't really want to show the thing because, I mean, this is a live channel. It goes out to everybody. I like plausible deniability whenever I can. I like to cover my ass. Yeah, I like saying things like people just stream from like their bed up their head, their pillow. It's just so sexy shit. I mean, like, did it for a year. Now I can show it because it's not green or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I can easily say tobacco or something else. But how is this anyway? You know what I mean? Because you know it's not are you on a boat? Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. No, I'm not on a boat. That's just on the trailer right now. That's a nice looking boat. What is that, a Boston whaler? What is that, a whaler? The boat? Yeah. Oh, that's a fucking V8 engine in that bitch. It's a Chevy 305. What's the model of the boat, though? It's an 85 Mark Twain Sonic. It needs a little work in the engine. I've been kind of reluctant to do it lately because, well, I lack the motivation because I'm so on my mind and I always got shit to do. So I haven't really had time to get out in that bitch and work out some kicks, but I had it up and running last year. It was pretty good. I'm not here on the Treasure Coast. I'm in Hero, and I don't know how to build. I'm kind of new to this, the whole. It's just so weird to say like I got a home in a boat. You know what I mean? It's like I'm from one side of Chicago. I've been like dirt ass gutter broke. You know what I mean? And to have that like concept that I actually have a place that I can never be kicked out of unless I don't pay my mortgage. You know what I mean? But you know, it's the landlord bullshit. It's just like my comfort ration. And shit, you could literally live on that thing. I could send you some videos of this guy that. Oh, I know. I actually had an idea that I'm going to travel down to Louisiana and go to Cafe Du Monde on my boat. You know, and just stock up in the cabin for a little while, a little bit. Stack some gas, and you're good. Clean water, gas, and like crackers. Anything. You can live on fish you catch on the way down there. Yeah, and then you just catch your fucking meat. Have a barbecue in the back of that bitch. Oh my goodness. Sounds like a fucking wonderful time. I mean, that's pretty much why I got it, more or less, the concept and actually doing it. That's nice, though. You got the option. Whenever the time is right. I've actually put my hammock out on there before, on the bow. It's got some stable rails. Support weight, you know, I can lean into it. That's what's up, man. Well, shit, I'm gonna go contact my local Orthodox community. I'll talk to you guys later. You have a blessed day. Really enjoy your day. Have a great day. You guys as well. Take care. Willy's Wonderland. Were you guys here for the last time we had movie night? No, I think I missed it. I've been a little bit less active, but I'm about to become very much more active on Tuesday once everything. Yeah, things are getting better for me, so just soaking up this pillow right now as much as possible. And tomorrow's the big day for me, so I'm just yikes. And then Tuesday I'm gonna be trying to basically be Rabbi's digital roommate. So are you gonna live stream yourself full time too? As full time as possible, yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. So I'm fucking. I don't mind being in front of a camera. I gotta go pay bills. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm working on that part too. I'll send you a link if you like to my podcast. Let me see real quick. Because I used to run a podcast with my buddy. A lot of reasons why if I move forward, I'm gonna have to rebrand. But go to Mr. Bitcoin Kyle Chatler. Fucking brother-in-law playing that fucking eggnog shit. I ain't moving anytime soon. Fucking cleaning up a bunch of branches. God damn it. So I just sent you a link to my he's cleaning up some branches and don't strip those. I just sent you a link to my podcast. I don't have one of my producers for the artwork, but that's got some of the stuff that I was doing a while ago. You know, some interesting content. If any of it fascinates you. But I ran that podcast, and so I want to get back into it because Rabbi was telling me about the gig streamer incentive program, and that sounds like something that actually makes it worth, like, very much so worth the jump into just going for it, full force. I heard, I'm just used to a certain life, bro. I make really good money, even though I have to work a lot of hours. That's good, though. That's good. I miss those days. I wish I wasn't in a position to where this was my way, but yeah. But I always wanted to stream, bro. From when I used to play Call of Duty, I wanted to stream full time. When I got back into Magic Online, I wanted to stream full time. That, I'll tell you right now. Do you know what would be really good? You heard of Penguin Zero? And Charlie Moist Critical, one of the biggest, most popular streamers right now. I get home from work, I have a choice. I can either make memes or I can fuck off and play games all day. I prefer to make the art, to be honest. That's cool too. You can even just do a stream of yourself, like the way you were streaming yourself, sketching everything out. Bro, people will watch you. Yeah, I know. That's really cool. I used to watch artists all the time, man. Back before I jumped back into crypto. Yeah. Tipped them and everything. Hell yeah. He's taking us branches. I'll be not gonna wear that. Your shirt looks like it's been working all day. I'm getting over it. I was so excited for the steak and sales last night when I got back to my Alright, so I'm gonna get off here too. Alright, you have a good day, brother. Bye. Have a good night.
Changes, things go nutty, things things move around, high pressure systems, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanoes. You can't control it. You just stop polluting, you fucks. It's just...
I can't deny it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Stream by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day.
I get it. I get the whole thing.
You see how powerful you feel?
Yeah, you feel like you can talk shit, like you're in another dimension.
In all the things that you do, like working out and
Caspian C.
you don't need to.
Hey, dog.
A lot of that.
I'm just gonna fucking straight up tell you what I think you should do for the rest of your life, and that would be this: keep a camera on 24/7 and just live your regular life, and you'll be a movie star. That's what you need to do. Here's what I mean. Once you get through this little hiccup tomorrow, you're gonna have a solid amount of time to do streaming. And that's what I'm saying. Basically, like, you don't have to do 24-hour streams, but you'll see the kind of numbers that these people put out. And you got to say to yourself, dude, I could be making $16 an hour every single one of those. And like, your content is, well, it's gaming, it's reactions, but it really could just be like IRL or whatever the fuck you want it to be once Monday's done. So I would be doing exactly what you're doing, just chilling and preparing myself. Everything worked out with your friend and the ride and everything?
Yeah, everything worked out there. And last night I actually went and hung out with an old friend who's about to have heart surgery. So I wanted to make sure to see him before he goes into the night. He's looking good. He's healthy. He's moving around and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, I feel fine right now. He's just like, after the surgery is when I'm gonna look like shit. And so, want to make sure to hang out with him a little bit. So yeah, that's why I wasn't on too much yesterday. I went over and I saw an old friend.
Shit happens. I understand. Marcus Wentz, how you doing, you little bitch?
Isn't there like a movie happening right now, like a movie screening in the Harry Potter chat or something? Because like someone's talking about Sanko TV in a movie with like Nicolas Cage. You guys hear about that or no? It's just gonna be happening for 2 hours, I guess, or some shit. I don't know all the details. I thought it was gonna be later tonight, but apparently it's like movie night for Europe. It's like the afternoon or some shit right now.
Okay. Sounds cool, man. What are they watching?
It's on Nicolas Cage. Let me share the link. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Let me try to find it quick.
Wait, are they going to show it in here?
It's called Sanko TV.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like people are going to pirate the movie if you can't access it.
I've used that.
Just paste it in the chat.
Okay, cool. That's a good platform. It just has a shitty login process, and I got locked out of my login, and I can't use it anymore. But that one, it's interesting. You have to pay to stream on it. You have to pay a little bit of cryptocurrency, but if you know anyone who is involved with the platform, they'll sometimes give you cryptocurrency to stream on there. And that's what they did with my account. They gave me like $50 in cryptocurrency, and I was streaming on there, but I ran into the issue where my Twitter account got banned, and my Twitter account was the login to Sanko TV, and so I couldn't log in anymore. And it was not that easy to sign up, and like I said, you needed like cryptocurrency to be able to stream on it. Now, here's how it worked. If you streamed, you could stream for free, but basically you weren't going to be featured on the main page, and it meant like users who hadn't boosted you or whatever, like giving you a little extra money, might not be able to see you. However, you could buy boosts for yourself, which I didn't like having to do. It was kind of a huge pain in the ass.
Oh shit. Well, I found the link. It's actually free now. There's like chat, so if you guys want to join that, it's the link. Oh, cool.
What movie is it?
It's Willy's Wonderland from Nicolas Cage. That's what it looks like.
All right, can I talk shit in the chat?
Thankfully for doing that by accident, but yeah, someone just pasted the link at seiko.tv real HP was 10 high, so I'm gonna hop into the chat just okay, cool, yeah.
I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna chop it up with these assholes. Motherfucker, I have to create an account. This shit sucks. I hate doing this.
Serious? Why? I didn't have to. I just clicked it and it opened up.
No, I want to be able to chat.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to chat because I'm not in.
Yeah, I want to talk smack to these assholes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What is this movie? Winter Wonderland?
Willy's Wonderland, yeah.
What is Willy's Wonderland?
It's a Nicolas Cage movie. I don't know what it's about.
Okay. I don't know why, but it looks like the chat is pasting twice. Caspian C.
Yo-yo.
I have an amazing surprise for you.
What is that?
Okay, two things. Remember yesterday when I was like, dude, check out this caption app. It's amazing.
Yes, I downloaded it immediately.
Yeah, exactly. I did not know this, but CapCut does that for you already.
Oh,
I didn't know that though. So I came in here yesterday like, hey guys, look at this cool software I have. And somebody's like, yeah, CapCut does that for you automatically. And I'm like, oh, apologies. Now I'm not using CapCut just because this app is fucking really easy to use. All you do is upload the video. It fucking does it for you. I know CapCut is going to have a couple other steps in there, and I don't want to deal with those right now. And
plus you paid for the 1 month.
yeah, well, and I'm still in the free trial too.
Oh, so you gotta take advantage.
So I've got a decision to make, and I think I still may make these things, but take a look at what I put out. They're amazing, and they're probably the greatest thing ever in like the history of mankind. But the more of these that I do, the more people who are going to look at it. Now you're going to say, Rabbi, you only have like 5 views on these or like 10 views. You have to understand, I've posted these things like 3 or 4 times now. I posted the original one. Then sometimes I had to post it again because there was a fuck up. Then I posted it with the lyrics. Then I had to, or with the captions. And then, so like I've gotten the social media juice out of them. I get that. What I think is going to happen is I make a bunch of them, and then somebody's going to see, oh, there's a whole fucking library here. I can look at my favorite streamer and see Rabbi rip on their shit. That's fucking cool.
I like that.
So go to TikTok.com/. super / the at symbol Super Rothschild, SUPER ROTHSCHILD. Look how nice it looks.
Oh well. Yeah, you got a lot now.
Watch one of them and tell me it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. How is it not? That would be my question for you. How is this not the funniest shit of all time?
I'm watching the Hey It's Rough one. Coast to coast. It's funny.
Which one are you watching?
Coast to coast. Arctic. There's like a Southern Ocean. There are like 5 oceans now.
Oh, yeah. Who is that one? Benny Mac?
Hey It's Rough.
Oh, Hey It's Rough. Oh, yeah, that's right. He has an amazing setup.
Co-roofs.
Can you see, when you get a chance, watch the guy. His name is, I am Mommy or something like that. Or Little G Mommy. And the reason why is I actually just randomly follow that guy and start trolling him, and he starts to talk about me. It's very funny what he says. Somebody's like, "Hey, why did you ban Rabbi?" And he's like, let me think about it. Because that bro comes in here literally 14 times a day with all these different alts following me. I'm not exaggerating. And that was just funny that I caught it on camera while he was making fun of me.
That's funny. Hey, did Jack Dory.
I did.
That's funny. Watching the Action Man.
Oh, very cool. I was nice to him.
That's funny as hell. Of course he did Vitaly. Oh, but I'm gonna watch the Amaranth one.
Hell yeah, baby.
Bro, alright. I want to tell you this. Now, this probably, I had this idea where now through the Freedom of Information Act, you can get like a copy of like conversation between a prisoner and someone who like visits them. So I was like, if I end up going to like a jail, then I want someone I know to come visit me, and I want to be on the recorded video line, and I want them to ask me how I'm doing, and then I'm just gonna start asking them, well, I'm nervous, and I just want to make sure everybody knows about Rabbi Michael Rothschild, and then like I know that it would probably be like it's not taking jail seriously or anything, but if there was like a recorded video where someone else was like on the phone, like he's streaming 24/7, 365 for 666 plus days. Just go to YouTube, search Fire Rabbi, and filter by live, and then I was imagining all this stuff. Like I was like, what if like there was a video I could post where it's like me from jail doing a funky Rabbi Rothschild commercial.
I love it. Well, I don't want you to have to be in jail, so actually I wouldn't love it, but I would love the effort.
I'm trying to see the positive side of anything I get thrown in. I'm going to ask a friend to help me do something so that I can do a FOIA.
Please do. We'll get it. We'll get it in the archives. But I don't want you thinking about having to go back. I know that it's a difficult thing to get off your mind. You're going to be back here tomorrow at this same time, perhaps maybe a little later in the day, but and then you're going to have all your shit, and you're going to have now a month to continue to live there, and then you're going to have another, hopefully, I'm saying this, I've got good vibes for you, 6 months of living with your friend, and by then you'll be able to get $16 an hour to stream, and then you're on your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the plan?
That is absolutely the plan.
Excellent. Okay, well then did you've read through the stuff, and what to you is the biggest hump to you being able to stream on there? I think that's a good question.
Right now, just my preoccupation with tomorrow.
No, not what I mean. Not what I mean.
I know. I have everything else set up. I mean, it's not beautiful, but it'll grow and get better as it goes.
What I mean to say is there's an issue there that arises when it comes to 25 subscribers. That's like 170. No, how much would it be? $125. Hold on. Yeah, why am I making this math so difficult? So that's actually not that bad at all. I was thinking it was a lot more expensive than that, but you might need that a couple months in a row.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to research this, or I'll research it with you, but there's something like this. You know how like all these big streamers have like 4,000 people watching them, and it's like, how the fuck are they doing that? Are they just straight up buying people? Yes, they are, but also they have there's some kind of program or some kind of system. There's something in which you can enroll where you pay like $10 for followers and you get $9.90 back. Yeah. So remember I was telling you I was streaming on that Senko platform and it was like a cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Oh, just one moment. Hey, what's going on, Aliu? Well, it's because they're actually entertaining and they don't spam. They're fucking streaming others. Hey, dog. Whatever works. It got your ass here. You wouldn't know about me any other way. West Side. All right. Exactly. So I was thinking. Dog, I throw up West Side all the time. I throw up West Side. I might some days throw up West Side 35 times to the camera, just randomly when I'm bored. I'll just throw up West Sides, and it's as gangster as I get. Yeah, dog. I even have West Sides in the fucking in those things that I sent, the things, the shout outs. One of them, you actually see me in the video doing the West Side. Oh, here we go. Something else. This person has said, like, this is what I would imagine people that spam others in chats would look like. Well, it is. I'm glad I'm fulfilling your your vision of this. I'm glad you envision the way in which I live as how someone who spams other chats would be. That's tight. Did you find out about me from Kick? Because it's amazing. You're talking to me on Twitch. I don't even fucking try on Twitch. That's amazing that you know about me on Twitch. I mean, when I say I don't try on Twitch, I stream on it, but I haven't logged into a Twitch account to say something to someone in 2 years. But I can see you, and I can see how much you love me. I can sense it. I can sense that you love all of the times that I spam in the chat, because you know I do so for world peace. Do you know that you're live on 8 different streams right now, 24/7? You can watch my life in 360 degrees. Here we go. Nah, on TikTok. You found me on TikTok. No way. No way. You found out about me on TikTok. No way. Did you see my shout outs to people on TikTok? That's amazing. AQ. Dude, you found out about me from TikTok. That's wild shit. Did you hear that, Caspian Sea? I think that shit is wild. Here we go. Why are you proud of that? Because I just started making these videos and I didn't think anybody had seen them. I didn't certain.
Do not be proud because, like, literally, this person is exactly falling into the trap that Rabbi Rothschild set.
You're in my web, dog. I'm the Black Widow.
Talking to you. Not only that, they had a premonition and a vision of exactly what you would look like.
Exactly. Wonderful. I couldn't have said it better myself. Caspian Sea, thank you. Why are you proud of that? Dog, you have to understand. I have the biggest stream in global history. I have more content online than anyone. Content is king. And because I have more content online than any person ever, it's going to make me a very powerful person perhaps in the future. And when that happens,
Just in case anybody hears me, he's going to make you a trillionaire.
you're exactly right. I'm going to make you a trillionaire, baby. I'm going to make you and everyone you know millionaires, then billionaires, then trillionaires.
Stream is 666 plus days.
Absolutely.
Just go to YouTube, search Fat Wire Rabbi, filter by line.
So this is what this person said. No, you can be more entertaining by playing games or something. Doug, I listened to Joe Rogan podcast. Does that help? We got Joe Rogan podcast. I was just talking to a friend of mine. He's in a Telegram right here, like right above the camera. So I'm just talking to him, and about what are we talking? About his streaming plans for the future. So you can listen to that, and that's very entertaining to some people. Why? Because he's going to be a major streamer in the future. Man, that's boring as shit, to be honest with you. Okay, dog, I'm not saying that I got to fucking entertain you. How about you turn your camera on and let me watch you? How about that? How about you turn your camera on and let me watch you?
So boring they won't leave you alone.
Exactly. Dog, I want you to know, AQ, you're a sweetheart. I really like you. And if you knew all of the bots that I had going right now, you would be very impressed. You would think it's the biggest event in global history. Do you know that I have 8 different streams going right now? You can watch my bots. I have a ceiling cam, yo. I can do whatever you want. Right now, I'm just having a conversation with a friend of mine.
I'm your private
Dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. 8 bots? Wow. More than Indian people. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. 8 bots, dog. It's the biggest event in global history. No one's had more content online than I do ever. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Dog. Biggest event ever. I can't believe you found out about me from TikTok. How could you make me a trillionaire, though? Oh, now you're interested. You have to understand that data is Earth's #1 resource. According to The Economist magazine in 2018, but I heard Joe Rogan say it on a podcast not 2 hours ago. He said, as everyone knows, that somehow data became the world's most valuable. He called it a resource. He called it a commodity. It's probably more accurately a resource. Nevertheless, I have more data on the internet than any person ever. And that data can be monetized perhaps in the future for world peace. And how do we do that? Essentially, once the people find out that you can watch someone 24/7, 365 whenever you want, that's very attractive. You can connect with me. We can have discussions. You get advice. I can get advice. We can brainstorm, whatever. That is a really, really cool option that whenever you want, you can contact someone. It's like a real life Siri. But to be honest, Joe Rogan is a podcast. Dog, whatever you want to consider it. I don't understand how having Elon Musk, the like richest person on earth, or like I don't know, Steven Tyler or anything else is anything but that. If you want to have those conversations, you can have those. That's not a conversation for me to have. I don't have those conversations. I talk about facts, and Joe Rogan a lot of times talks about facts, and that's why I like him. So, AQ, I don't know. All I know is that you know about me. I'm going to make you rich someday. And you found out about me from TikTok. And I didn't think anybody found out about me from TikTok. Honestly, you could have sat here and told me. I would have thought you would have found out about me from Kick. But if not Kick, also, I've been wondering how the hell do I eat or leave? I eat food. I eat food on camera a lot of times. And I leave my room through a door, and there's a bathroom, and that's what I do. I mean, that one's an easy one. Keep with the questions. I'll do my best to answer anything that you have. Oh, damn. Hell yeah, dog. Hey, have you seen how much content I have? Have you seen all of my social media? It's more than any person has in global history. It's the biggest event in global history. Did you know that I have over 1,069 TikTok accounts and I have over 2,100? Yeah, that's low key wild. I know. I have over 2,069 Twitter accounts and I have over 5,000 Kick accounts. Look at my computer's making Kick accounts as we speak. I can tell you this. Look, I'll show you right now. This device right now is in the middle of making a Kick account. I don't know if you can see it, but I think you can. Right now, it's doing an OTP, a one-time password, and I don't have to touch anything. It's all automated. It's basically the coolest thing of all time. I'm the coolest person of all time, and this is the greatest stream of all time. If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer anything that you may have. Go ahead. All right, if you have other questions, I'm here for you. To my friend Caspian C, you've got a good, hey, were you able to get all that stuff you needed yesterday?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's perfect then. I mean,
Yeah, everything worked out. I mean, it's like, don't want to jinx it, but you know what I mean? It's definitely, everything is working out pretty good. We're going to get some water. Be right back.
tight. Hey guys, how are you? How'd you hear about me? I stream my life for world peace. I'm your private dancer, dancer for money.
The way that it
Do
went for
what
anybody
you
over there.
want me to do.
Period.
I'm
Oh,
your
for sure.
private
Like have a suit on
dancer,
or something.
Yeah, for
Like an
it's
Iron
a
Man suit.
it keeps you away. There's a distance
dancer for
between
money.
other people now.
That
Do
must
what
be
you
less
want
celebrities
me
worth
to
than when they
do.
go out.
Probably.
You know, like we'll see like at concerts or UFC fights, you'll see celebrities with full on
Yo,
sunglasses.
dog.
Interesting.
Gabi Wasabi.
They're like a cat
Infinite
hiding
gooning.
underneath a chair and the tail's hanging out. It's like you can't see me, I can see you, stupid.
Yeah. No, people they
I'm
do
your
give you
private
some,
dancer.
and a lot of people I guess are on drugs.
Yeah, that's probably one.
And then their eyes
Yeah.
are
Dancer
bugged out of their
for
head.
money.
I just think they're trying to avoid eye contact with people. Because then people
Yes.
try to give them a script.
Yeah, I think that's true. They just don't want to be left alone.
Do
Yeah,
what
but if you want to be left alone in public, maybe that's the only way to do it.
You
You
just
gotta
gotta
wear
make
these
these.
things.
And they're getting bigger and bigger, and
These are so huge.
they're crazy.
This is like a rich lady who gets out of a car with a small dog.
They're crazy, and you wear them. And when I got them as a joke, but then you just keep doing it
Because they're good.
because they're good. They're actually fun, and people come up to you and say nice things about the sunglasses,
Which is weird.
which is weird. They'll go, "These sunglasses are really cool," and like cool people, like black people, like those. You know what I mean? Like a black guy will go, "Those shades are cool," and I'll go, "That's great." Like if a guy like me says it means nothing. I would throw them out, but.
Well, it was for this is like a bad sunglasses from the 80s.
Yeah,
Like what Brian Bosworth used to wear. Remember the Boz?
I don't.
He was a guy who was famous for his sunglasses. He was a big-time football player.
Interesting.
He was one of those, every now and then one of those fellas like, what's his name? The one that's basically dating Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, that guy. Like when one of those guys breaks through
Yeah.
and becomes famous, that was the Boz.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hold on one second.
Holy shit, in 2000. But here we are, 2024.
They're back.
Invest in bell bottoms.
They're
kids.
absolutely back. They're
I appreciate it, dog. Are you going to do the same?
Likely, I have to go run an errand later on, but I got all day for that. So,
Oh, enjoy your nap, dog.
yeah, brother, you too.
Like,
You know,
it's-
I do my best to. Thank
There's
you.
not enough new ideas. You gotta recycle certain ideas.
After a while, you go, the Mohawk's not that bad.
Yeah, of course.
What's the problem?
Everything was baggy, and then everything was tight, and now everything's getting baggy again.
Yeah. The ladies are wearing baggy pants.
A lot of people wearing baggy stuff, but then that'll probably swing.
Yeah, I thought the whole idea of the tight pants is to show your body. That's what it's for, right?
For sure.
Yeah. What happened, ladies?
I don't know.
Why'd you go baggy?
Something happened.
I don't get it. Go back to the tight stuff.
Yeah.
That looks better.
Well, they feel no one can objectify them if they wear a bag.
Yet they'll go to the gym in yoga pants.
That's right.
That are so thin. You mean you could literally like read Braille through them.
Right.
And you see your full vagina
Yeah, it's just
outline.
hanging out.
And a lot of these gals are not wearing panties because they don't want the line. They don't want there to be a line. So they have just raw pussy covered by yoga pants out there in the wild.
We're kind of lucky as comedians to wear pretty much. We don't, like, you dress up in a suit for UFC and for other stuff,
Yeah.
but most of us don't.
Yeah, I don't mind a suit. I
Yeah.
like it. I wear, well, if I have to go somewhere special,
Yeah.
throw a suit on.
Right.
I don't mind it. Sebastian's into it. Boy, that guy.
They wear it. I saw Seinfeld at Gotham. He's in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
People wear them. Mulaney wears one.
Yeah,
like,
they
I
like
think
to wear it. It gives you a certain, you feel like you're some sort of an expert.
for sure.
You're definitely better than the guy in the hoodie. The
Yes,
guy in the hoodie's
I agree.
fucking
But I'm
idiot.
the guy in the hoodie, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree
Like
too.
when I see Seinfeld, I go, I agree that you are, and it's it's not even fashion. He's better in every way.
I
but
wear hoodies 3 days a week.
It's fun to wear a hoodie and jeans.
Yeah, it's casual.
It's a great,
It's loose. I feel comfortable.
it's a great thing to just,
soft.
and to be able to make money in a hoodie's great.
Yes.
That's the cool thing about it.
Yes.
To have
Right.
to have jeans on and go, I'm going to make money in a hoodie and jeans.
I think that's what John Fetterman was getting into when he went into the Congress.
That's
He's
what he was doing.
"Look, if I'm going to be rich now,
Yeah.
I'm going to dress like what I would dress like if I was like Rick Rubin."
He's kind of an interesting guy now because now he's starting to make sense, which
Yeah,
is
what
strange.
the fuck is going on? Did the stroke knock some sense into
I
him?
don't know what happened, but he's like actually coming out of the gate with some like very rational things.
Yeah, hot, good takes on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, on everything.
And I'm like, if that's what Sweatpants does, let's do it.
I wonder if, like, when he was running, he was recovering from the stroke, and so that was why he would have those moments where his brain would sink off, and we'd
Yeah.
be like, "This guy's fucked. He can't be a senator."
Right.
But maybe what it really is it just takes a while for everything to come back, and now it's all back.
Right.
And now he's making sense. Because I haven't seen any of those videos since of him. You know, there was a few videos where it was like me if I eat like a 500 milligram edible.
He was out of it for
Yeah.
a period of time.
Yeah, he was gone. He was in this place where it just didn't make sense what he was saying.
Yeah. But now he's back, and it feels like, from my perspective, that the things he's saying are pretty logical.
What a crazy political move.
Yeah.
Recover from a stroke publicly
Right.
while in the middle of a campaign
In a sweatsuit.
against a guy who's famous
Right.
and still win.
And still win. And then get progressively better and make more sense. Because our guy that's the president is getting worse and Fetterman's getting better.
I'm of the opinion, and I think you are too,
Yeah.
that Biden doesn't exist. I believe
It could be the first AI thing.
I think he's a living human being. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing there. It doesn't exist. So
It's
I
not
think
there.
I don't think there's a question about this.
Right.
So everything around him is with supporting the country, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
It kind of shows you that the system kind of works.
Sure.
You know, when you got a guy like that, it's a great kind of stress test to see like what happens.
Yeah.
When you get a guy that's just and also how much you can gaslight people into voting for him again.
Yes.
How much you can gaslight people into
Yeah.
voting for the people around him again is what
Right.
it really is. People you don't even know. But this mysterious cabal of humans is actually running the country.
Well, it's such a weird thing because he came out of the State of the Union. He was pretty good, but he was heavily drugged. Like something, and you might know more than I know about like certain types of things that you can do. Like what you've had all these doctors on and stuff. Is there a way to make that guy like that for the debates? Is he going to be able to? Because now he wasn't great.
What I would recommend is I would time it correctly, right? So I'd recommend that he got lots of sleep. I would cut all the ice cream out of his diet for several days,
Right.
all the bullshit out of his diet. Then I would give him NAD infusions and IV vitamin infusions multiple days in a row, like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
Then the day of, I would make sure that he eats really well, gets a lot of sleep, and then I would fill him up. I'd fill him up with Adderall. I'd
Right.
give him testosterone. I would give him human growth hormone. I'd give him nootropics. I'd give him everything that we know that creatine.
Yeah.
Creatine helps with. It actually does
No,
help.
I'm sure. It's just,
Creatine is a cognitive enhancer.
I'm thinking of him getting all these injections in that
Creatine
skin,
just supplement.
just that purple skin from all the marks.
Oh god.
That skin that's just wound so thin. It's spun so thin on his body. All of the bruising from all of these needles of stuff that they need to shoot him up with to just be coherent for an hour.
Isn't it crazy? Like when Obama was president,
Yeah.
the worst they could get on him was remember when he wore that tan suit?
Right. Right.
Yeah. He never had a single moment publicly where he stumbled, where he said something really
this is
stupid.
like,
This is insane.
it's insane. It's much worse than even, remember George W. Bush?
Mm-hmm.
And he would say silly things.
Yeah.
This is like so far down the road from that.
It's so far down the road. It's so far down the road that it's like I think it's elder abuse. I really do. I mean, if it was any other job, it would be elder abuse. If there was a guy who was running the corner grocery store and his family was making him run it, and he was that old and they had money, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing to your dad? Why are you making your dad work? Your dad's out of it."
Yeah, why would you do? Yeah, there was a guy in New York, this legendary guy Dom, who ran this pizzeria called DeFara's, which is like widely thought of as the best pizza in New York. And he was so old, and at the very end, he was just over the pie with the oil and cutting basil, and it was like you felt bad because the pie was amazing, but you're watching a guy at the end of his life
Making pizza.
very old, and he would struggle. He'd put it in the thing. It was hard. It was like you kind of gasped. And that's what we have now, except it's with Russia.
Yeah, but however, if I went to a pizza place and there's a guy who loves making pizza so much that here he's fucking dying.
Right.
It's his last days. He's still, I'm going to make you a nice pie.
Yes.
I'm going to make you a
He's
nice pie.
And he fought.
He must love the fact that his pizza is awesome.
Yes, he loved it.
Yeah, if you make good food, it's probably a lot like killing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like you kill on stage, everybody loved it. Great, we had a great time. Thank you. I'm so happy.
You gotta wonder what the reward is for Biden. Like, is it even fun? It can't be fun. Why does he even want to do this?
That guy making that pizza, when someone folds a slice of that pie and goes,
yeah,
oh my God,
they're into it.
It's like they're killing.
That guy goes, I've made all of these people happy.
Yes.
But this guy, I mean, this just came out in the Wall Street Journal when they're saying that he's like showing signs like behind closed doors.
Wait. What are you saying?
I know. It's shocking.
This is crazy.
It's shocking.
It's what? When President Biden met with congressional leaders in the West Wing in January to negotiate Ukraine funding deal, he spoke so softly at times that some participants struggled to hear him. According to 5 people familiar with the meeting, he read from notes to make obvious points, paused for extended periods, and sometimes closed his eyes for so long that some in the room wondered whether he had tuned out
or died.
But are they can't change him out now. Right? You and I both thought it was going to happen in May.
We were convinced. I remember texting you. I was convinced. I actually heard from people that were around the Trump campaign that thought they were also preparing to run against somebody who wasn't Biden.
Right.
And they had believed that. They were like, it's going to be Newsom or somebody. And it hasn't been. So why, not to sound like a nut, but why are they so committed to this guy? There's something weird about it. There's something strange about it.
Do you think that's it? I think he's the sitting president, and they gaslit everybody into thinking he was fine. So now they would have to change course radically to justify getting him out of office. If they just published an article, I think it was in the Times, that was talking about Biden saying that his age is his superpower. Did you see that?
Yes.
And then Seth, what's his name? The guy from the fucking Family Guy?
Seth MacFarlane.
That guy retweeted it.
Right.
And was like, this is amazing. I couldn't have written this better.
Thing.
What?
Right. Yeah.
What?
His age is his superpower.
So you'd have to turn that back. So you'd have to get all these people. Do you remember when there was a whole list of a bunch of celebrities? They used to make videos where they would tell you what to do.
Right.
You know, what we need to do. We need to do. The end of democracy. Remember the bunch of them did that before the 2016 election?
Right. Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. Those people, of all, you would have to do something like that with Biden.
Well, what's interesting about Biden is they put him in kind of because they kind of stacked the Democratic primary. They killed the momentum of Sanders. And there was a lot of people. Biden was like very behind and then sprung out at the end.
They manipulated it.
Just
like they did with Hillary. Just like Donna Brazile wrote about in her book.
They manipulated it to get him in. And it's just weird to me that when everyone sees it so clearly and Trump is up in every poll, why they wouldn't just have him go out, give a very patriotic speech about, you know what? I thought I could do it, but now I can't. I thought I was okay.
Because there's no one other than her. So if you try to
put her in again,
if you try to promote her as president against Trump, Democrats are going to vote for Trump.
She should lose one more time.
But she's going to lose in a way that's
it's crazy. No, they have nobody else. That's the other thing.
But the thing is, he should lose in a way that's crazy if you're looking at like competence because he's so old. But people will vote for him just because the machine behind him has kept the country. It's still relatively okay.
Yeah.
You're still going out to dinner. You're still taking plane flights.
For sure.
No
Yeah.
aliens have landed.
Not yet.
You know, Ukraine hasn't spilled over into America. It's all okay.
Not yet.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Right? So you would probably, especially if you're one of those celebrities that made that video about Trump, you
right.
can't turn course now.
No.
Those people, that's out there forever. You
Yeah.
know? Remember those?
Well, it's also I think
Imagine
older.
there's no heaven.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Remember that one?
I think older people kind of like, some of them like it because they go, yeah, well, good for him. There's a lot of older people that don't want
Right.
to step down.
Like when white guys want a white heavyweight.
That's
boxing
exactly
champion.
right. And there's a lot of old people that go, I'm not going to retire.
Right.
I'm not going to step down. I don't want to go into assisted living.
Remember
I wanna-
Frankie? He made that pie till the day he died.
Yeah.
Till the day he died.
Yeah.
He was 102 years old. He put the basil on, dropped dead.
Yeah. I think they look at this guy and they say, good
He's one
for
of us.
him.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
There's a little bit of that going on.
He's one of us.
I definitely think there's a little bit of that going on. I don't think that's
Trump will beat him, I think, from jail.
Yeah, 100%.
Trump will win.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, I don't want to cry election fraud, but why would I imagine that they would manipulate everything openly except the election?
But this
Why-
is what
you know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying to you. Is it not possible that they haven't gone off Joe Biden because there was some fuckery in the last election?
Well,
Is it not possible to some degree that they have this rabid insistence on this clearly dementia-ridden guy because their promises have been made and there are people in positions of power that could speak? I don't know anything.
that's a possibility.
I'm just-
I mean, it's just a guess, right? Who knows?
I'm just asking the kinds of questions that people on Twitter will
Yeah,
call me a name for asking. But
but you gotta stop reading that.
yeah,
That's
True.
That's
I don't read it.
Boy, that's a nice. Once you break
No,
yourself
I know.
free,
I don't, I'm not on it as
you
much.
feel so much better. Lex goes into a dark hole every few days.
I know. Well, it's
I hope he doesn't read the stuff about the Kevin Spacey interview.
life is dark. Oh, you interviewed
He
Spacey?
did, yeah.
God damn it, we wanted Spacey.
You can get
I
Spacey.
wanted
You
Spacey.
can get Spacey.
I know, but then you're on the fifth person to have Spacey.
Listen, you'll be the most.
I
fun.
know Weinstein's coming here first. I know you're going to have him as soon as he gets out of jail.
He's never getting out of jail.
I hope he does.
I don't think he's ever getting out.
By
of
the
jail.
way, he should.
Isn't he in jail for the rest of his life?
No, it's turning around, Joe.
What do you mean?
It's turning around.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
What?
you don't know?
What? What's going on?
They just overturned all of his convictions.
What?
Well, get some of what I'm. What? But
Are
I'm
you fucking
telling
kidding me?
you? The prosecutors in the Harvey Weinstein case were encouraging the whatever you want to call them, right? The people,
Victims.
the victims, and yes, they are victims. But she was encouraging them to just. When I was a juror on a murder trial, and you're instructed as a juror. This was years ago, but you're instructed to only consider the facts of the case. You can only discuss the facts of the case. These victims were out there, and they were permitted and encouraged by a very overzealous prosecutor to share things that weren't related to the case. And the fact that the jury could have based their here it is.
Wednesday's hearing ahead of Weinstein's retrial comes just over a month after the New York Court of Appeals, by a 4-3 vote, ruled the testimony of prior bad acts witnesses should not have been allowed because it was unnecessary to establish defendant's intent and served only to establish defendant's propensity to commit the crimes charged. He was convicted in 2020 of first-degree criminal sexual assault and third-degree rape, and then he was sentenced to 23 years in prison. He has maintained his innocence. So what are they saying now? They have a
They're
retrial.
going to do a retrial.
Wow. How old is he now? Because he looked fucking terrible before he was going into jail. He was walking around with a cane. Or
He's in his early 70s, but this is when directors do their best work. No,
But he's-
truly.
But he's not a director.
Right, producers, whatever. I have confidence in him, is what I'm saying. I think
You
if he
think he's
gets
going to
out,
get out and
Well,
take some ass?
I think he gets out. He's got a lot to prove.
I think they'll let him work. They're not even letting
Hollywood
Spacey work.
believes in nothing. They will absolutely let him work. They will let him work, and he should work if the retrial happens and they let him and it doesn't work, it is what it is. You know.
Wow. Imagine if he gets out. Imagine if it was all bullshit.
Well, I don't know how. It's like
It couldn't be.
that time
Well, they all
that we
did.
lived through
Yeah.
it was this moral panic. And
oh, right.
I'm
right.
not
the
saying
time
that-
of you mean
Yeah.
the time of Me Too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everything that got, that happened there.
Was
What
it
originally happened, it says here, you had a separate 16-year sentence that is not affected by this decision in California.
Oh, so there's another case which he was also sentenced to.
So the New York trial has been.
So he'll be transferred to a California prison? Oh, he's fucked. No matter what, he's fucked.
Unless they do that one.
So
too.
those guys, that was what they did. But the crazy thing about him is he looked like that guy that would do that.
He looked exactly like the guy that behaved the way that he behaved.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Dave Chappelle had a bit about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he raped.
Right. No,
like
for
looking
sure.
at him, like you look at a guy. But it's the other thing about him that's it's so crazy is how many photographs of famous people were with him and how many people thanked him when they won the award.
Of course.
It's so, and how it was this open secret, but it's just like they accepted this deal with the devil. Like the devil's going to make you a star if you suck his dick, and apparently that's what he would do.
Yeah.
Whitney told me that there was girls that he knew, girls that she knew rather, that did the deal, and it was a deal. Like you suck his dick, he's going to get you in this movie, and they sucked his dick, and they got in the movie. Like he would hold up his end of the bargain, which is one of the reasons why he was so powerful, because he really could. He wasn't just banging everybody; he really was.
Well, let's say this though, and
making people famous.
We think that's negative, but let's say him upholding his end of the deal is something.
It's a little
like
something.
if he puts you in the movie. I think a lot of these, by the way, all of the famous people he did it to didn't really come out against him.
No, because they can't. Because then if they tell the truth.
They were kind of, because that was kind of a deal that was made. Not good, but that was a deal. And he made good on some of those promises.
He made good on a lot of them, apparently. This
Yeah.
is just from what I heard.
Right.
But, Tarantino was telling us about this old school Hollywood producer who had a bedroom in his office.
Sure.
So you would go into his office, and this is like, in the 60s or whatever. So he had his office, and then he had a whole bedroom in his studio.
Yeah.
Where he would bang all the starlets. Like, if you wanted to be a star, you had to bang that guy. Which is just the deal with the devil that has always been that business.
That's always been there. There's always been there. It's like why people start cults.
Yeah.
They always end up being sex cults, right? All these
100%
cults.
of the time.
All of these guys on Netflix, it ends up
all
being
of them.
creepy and sexual.
Yep, all of them.
That's part of it. And I think if you have that kind of power and people, and you've got a steady stream of people walking in your door.
Yeah, and you are also doing this very specific thing where you're choosing the most beautiful people to be in these incredible films.
Right.
When you think about the movies that fucking guy made, Kill Bill,
some of the best in the world,
Pulp Fiction. Like you just go down the line.
Let him out.
So many times I've seen a movie, Miramax, of course.
Yeah.
They made insane movies, and
they were like the Weinstein Company. They were the best.
Yeah, and
some of the best.
And they just did it with the devil.
They did it with the devil.
Yeah,
they did it with the devil.
The devil.
You watch an old Woody Allen movie, you go, I don't know if he's guilty. I don't know what happened. I don't want to believe he's guilty, but can I still enjoy the movie or not? And then some of them, it is a little different. You watch it and you go, it is. I hope he's not guilty, but there's a good chance he's guilty. And there's a documentary that's
all of it's not good.
All of it's not good.
Even if it's like your neighbor's daughter, and you've known her since she was 2, and then you wind up marrying her, that's kind of crazy.
It's not
if
great.
you were an adult with children and your neighbor had a duchess. But then again, part of your brain goes, okay, but like, what if you really were in love? Like, what if really, she really was the next door neighbor, and really you were 60 and she was 30 and she loved you?
Right. Or if your wife
okay?
had adopted her from Cambodia.
That makes it more complicated.
And you raised her, but loved her still.
That's the next level.
That is
what I was going to say.
Not ideal.
That you can't.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Can't.
It's not ideal.
You can look at the neighbor and say, well, maybe you weren't close with the neighbor's daughter. Now she's a grown woman. She has agency. She's a woman. She loves you.
But you know what's funny
you can't say that about a kid that you fucking raised.
You can't marry a kid you raised.
No.
You can't marry a kid you raised.
But did he raise her? Did he see her like every couple times?
I don't know. However we can still watch Annie Hall. Is there any way to still watch Annie Hall?
No.
I don't know. Probably not. It's hard.
You can, but you're gonna know the whole time. It's
Well-
like watching House of Cards. You like what?
Yeah, but I can watch House of Cards because he's playing the guy he was.
Right.
That's perfect.
Right.
I like
right.
that. Kevin Spacey doesn't even exist. He's barely a person. He's such a good actor. He's become the thing. He always plays people kind of like that. Kaiser Soze, Frank Underwood. He's become the thing, and he's so good at it that it doesn't ruin it for me. I can watch House of Cards.
There's an arrogance that some stars had, like particularly in the 90s. When I first came to Hollywood, and this is like really evident for me because I was not a star, but I was on a television show. So I got to be around a lot of stars. And there was a way that some of them would treat you. They would let you know that you are subhuman. You are below them. They would communicate with you in the most disrespectful and dismissive ways. Like weird. Fucking weird. Like mousy guys that I could kill.
Right.
Like instantly. And they would just be rude to you in a really weird way because they had power. They had power, and then when an executive would come over, they would turn on the charm. They'd be smiling and laughing, and then you would talk to them at the craft service, and they would fucking dismiss you in the shittiest ways. I encountered a bunch of that.
Yeah.
It was commonplace, and it was, I think, a thing that they aspired to, especially a lot of the guys that came from Saturday Night Live. Like when Phil came over from Saturday Night Live, Phil Hartman, when he was on News Radio, that was the first thing he did after Saturday Night Live. And he had like his defenses up. Like I remember he was like a little like standoffish in the beginning, kind of shitty to us. Like he was the big star, and he was. And, Dave Foley was a pretty big star too. And the rest of us were kind of, no one really knew who we were. And after a while, he relaxed and he would tell me about it. And he was like, it's great here. We all have fun. But God, on Saturday Night Live, everybody was stabbing everybody in the back. And it was all, everybody was, people were getting people fired that were like his assistants just because they wanted to fuck him over. They would steal people's things. And it was just like really shitty. And it took a while for him to chill out. And then I got to meet some of those people that he was talking about and interact with them. They did the same thing to me.
Yeah.
There was some shitty fucking people out of that. This star culture.
Yeah.
And they would be the ones that were the royalty and everyone else was a peasant. It was really fucking creepy.
Interesting.
So I think if you're like an old school dick grabber and you're also a Hollywood icon,
right?
You probably are doing that. You're probably doing that Hollywood thing where everybody else is just there for you. Everybody else is just...
Should we maybe wall off Hollywood and just go, listen,
let them go wild?
They're just like, all sexual predators. Like
Jurassic Park.
It's Jurassic Park. Can't we do that? Can't we say, enter at your own risk? They make great movies, but occasionally they're going to goose you. They may throw you against a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, if you train for the Navy SEALs, some people drown. Can't we just do that? Because the other way isn't working where everyone's nice and good.
Yeah.
Everyone can't be nice and good and have really good art. I don't think. I'm not saying everyone has to be killing everyone.
No, I mean, Ron Howard seems to be really nice and good.
But I watched the Spacey documentary, by the way, and some of it is like, okay, he's clearly did the wrong thing. And then some of it, these guys are like, because they wanted things from him, they're like, we went to the movies and he started jerking off next to me. It's like, okay, dude, well, then this is not a guy to hang with. And then the next thing they say is, and then he invited me to a party at his hotel, and he said Bruce Willis would be there. So I went. And you go, well, we can't feel bad for you.
Right.
Because you're trying to climb on the basis of knowing this guy.
You are playing the game.
That's right.
You're playing the game.
You're playing the game.
You're dancing with the devil.
You're dancing with the devil.
You're going to lunch with Harvey.
You're going to lunch with Harvey. You want it. So to me, it's like they're not sympathetic in the way that, like, other people are, whether it's sexual assault in the military or in the workplace or whatever, where people are not actively trying to better their chances of being famous by knowing this guy.
Right. It's a complicated thing with Spacey, right? Because apparently some of the alleged people are like people that he worked, like, like a grip on a set or a guy who has to drive him to
Yeah.
You know, it was just wild. Apparently,
Yes.
but this is allegedly.
Right. And then some of those people died before they could testify.
Do you think you could play a guy like Frank Underwood if there's not a little bit of that inside you somewhere?
No. Probably not. Probably not. You know, he had a really rough life.
Did he?
And you know, his father was a Nazi pedophile.
Oh my god.
This is true.
Oh my god.
And his father was all of Twitter, but no, he was a Nazi pedophile. He would rape them and make them watch the Nazi stuff. I know I sound like I'm lying a lot, and I am a lot, but this is true. You can look this up.
Oh god.
His brother is a Rod Stewart impersonator.
Oh god.
It wasn't great the way that it went for anybody over there.
Jesus Christ. According to Kevin Spacey, he was raised by a relentlessly abusive neo-Nazi father. Wow. Spent his dinners making anti-Semitic comments, which terrified his children. Wow.
Yes, and worse than beating and raping them, he was anti-Semitic.
Wow.
So he was really bad.
Does that say that in here? The raping part?
I believe, from what I know,
That's his brother? The Rod Stewart impression?
that he was a very
Damn,
abusive.
brother's fucking got it nailed.
The brother is really dialed.
Boy, if I saw that dude,
Yeah, no,
fucking
he's dialed.
yeah. If I was like somewhere, I'd be like, holy shit, Rod Stewart!
Look at this. He alleges his father frequently raped him. I mean, I'm not making it
Oh
up.
my
It's
god,
terrible.
frequently raped and beat him. Oh, why didn't they put that in the title? Like just this anti-Semitic comments. That seems like the least of the problem.
For the way they grew up, let's be charitable. They turned out good.
Right.
They
The
turned
guy
out
won
well.
multiple Academy Awards.
He's a very talented man, and his brother, I'm sure, does a great Maggie May. For
That's
the way they were
interesting.
raised, everybody has to be judged a little bit with a backstory.
I love that Lex Friedman has the courage to interview anybody.
Well,
Like
Lex is
anybody.
one of those guys who genuinely is like, you know, he knows what his intentions are,
Yes.
and he's very comfortable with himself, and that's why he can talk to all these people.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
he's always
they're
coming from a
genuine.
good place. Always.
Even Kanye, in the heat of everything, Lex had him on.
Yeah. No,
And
because
Bill Maher like did a whole
Yeah.
episode and said, "I'm not releasing it."
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't wait. Kanye, Spacey, can we do an election? Because there's going to be an election. I'm angling to get back in here with Kanye and Spacey and Weinstein from jail.
I would get
and
you in
maybe
here
Trump.
with Kanye, but it would probably turn bad because you talk too much.
I know.
With Kanye, you got to let him talk
I know.
because like there was moments where I
I
was
let him
talking.
talk.
There was moments where I was talking. You could see Kanye was like, he has so much to say. I mean, listen, that madness inside of him was why his fucking songs are bangers. They're just banger after banger. His fucking new album's amazing. It's amazing, dude. We play in the green room all the time. And all my Spotify playlist, I think there's more Kanye songs than anything.
He's a genius. And what you have to realize with people that are incredibly gifted is a lot of that comes with some real downsides.
Yeah.
And they can't be judged maybe the same way you judge every other person.
Well,
I know that
they
that
gotta
sounds
follow
bad.
the laws. You can't be out there murdering people.
You can't do that. They got to follow the laws. But if he says something crazy,
Yeah.
it's also like you got to look at like what you've gotten from him and all of this great music. Let him have a tirade every now and then. Just
Yeah.
let him have a little.
Well, it's like he's his own enemy.
Yeah,
It's just like you can't. The rants just go.
I know.
They just come flying out, and who knows how much of it he's really been committed to until he says it, and then once he's saying it, then he's really committed. And then he shows up statistics like he held up this thing about it was showing on his phone all of the different people that are running all the different music companies and how many of them are Jewish.
Right.
He's like they run the media, they run this, they run that. I'm like, okay,
Right.
yeah. I mean, what are you going to say about that? If they are facts, if these people are all Jewish, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing something evil. Just if you buy pizza, a lot of the people selling it are Italian.